Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. It's it's a weird Friday for me because yesterday was a holiday here. So I had yesterday off, and then back to work for one day, and now here we are at the weekend yet again. It's kind of a long weekend, but not really. But hey, the time off is time off. I've been I've been working a lot lately. There was at least one day a couple weeks ago where I worked 19 hours. That was a long day. That was I went to work at like 5 o'clock in the morning and got home at 11 p.m. I mean, a good chunk of that was driving, so and I wasn't even the one driving. So it wasn't that bad, but it's still ate up a good chunk of my day. But but hey, this week has actually been kind of light. It's been a little nice. I've kind of recovered a bit. It's put me back in the mood for doing things, and that means, well, I my my 8-year anniversary on Twitter was yesterday. Apparently, Twitter told me as much. But I wanted to do a stream of just like doing tier lists anyway because last year I did a tier list of like Star Wars stuff, and that was quite a bit of fun. And it's just a fun thing to do. I like it. And I was thinking to myself, what can I do that's at least somewhat unique? And I thought, well, there's some Canadian stuff that's kind of weird. I could do that. Like rank Canadian fast food, some Canadian restaurants, Canadian provincial flags. There's not a whole dearth of content on Tier Maker for like specifically Canadian stuff, but there's probably going to be a lot of overlap. But we'll see what we can get up to. Let's. Chrome didn't shut down properly. Let's restore. Please disable your browser's ad blocker. No thanks. Cats are acting crazy. Alright. So I did a little bit of research. If you just search for Canadian stuff, there is a whole bunch of tier lists for like Canadian stuff. But a lot of them are stuff like beer in Canada. And as someone who basically doesn't drink beer, your guess is as good as mine. Or Big Brother Canada House Guests, seasons 1 through 7. I've never watched an episode of Big Brother Canada. In fact, most Canadian reality, like Canadian versions of reality shows, I've never watched. Because I'm just like, I just want to watch the original. Frankly, 9 times out of 10, it's more interesting. Besides, the reality shows that we come up with are always more interesting, like Canada's Worst Driver or Canada's Worst Handyman. If we strive to find the worst of the worst. That's our motto. But we will dive into things. Oh, I can't remember which one of these. Was it this one? We could do this one. Again, there's a lot of overlap between American and Canadian fast food. And just food in general, really. I do want to look at this one, though, because this one has triple O's on it. Kind of a lot of the same stuff. no idea what this is. Well, okay, we'll stick with this one. This one seems pretty straightforward. I do need one more chart here. Let's go add a row below. I don't know if I need this many tiers for fast food, but we're gonna go with it. I haven't tried. Great. Pizza 73. There's a Pizza 73 actually nearby me. We used to have a McDonald's inside our Walmart here in town. That closed a long time ago, like several years ago. And now it's a Pizza 73 for some reason. So we have that. It's very similar to like Domino's, Pizza Hut. It's fast food pizza, basically. Arby's. I don't know. I haven't eaten at Arby's very much, and what I have had isn't the best. But they got the curly fries. Yeah, sure. I'll stick Arby's at C because of the curly fries. Only because of the curly fries. Harvey's. Is Harvey's a Canadian place? I have to look that up now. 1 second. It is. It's a fast food restaurant chain operating in Canada. I always assumed it wasn't just Canadian, but apparently it is. Huh. Fascinating. I don't ever remember eating at a Harvey's, to be honest. Maybe I'm pretty sure I've been to a Harvey's like once, but it was a burger. I don't remember anything about it. I was probably like 10 years old. In all honesty, yeah. Pita Pit is apparently a chain, yeah. Oh, I wonder if that other logo was TP, Topper's Pizza. It was just like a different logo for them. I've never had Topper's Pizza either. I've never seen one before. I don't even know where that is. Must be Eastern Canada. Because I don't recognize it. Mr. Sub. I think I've had Mr. Sub like once. Again, I have barely any memory of it. I'm going to put it down there. Five Guys I've actually never had. TBH. I always see them. I see them all over the place in Edmonton. There's at least 1 or 2 locations, but I never go there. I'm never hungry at the same time that I see a Five Guys. Dairy Queen. All right, Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen I'm putting high because I actually love Dairy Queen's like food. Their ice cream and like blizzards and stuff is all fine, but I'm not that big into the whole ice cream scene. But DQ's food, like their burgers, their chicken is all, there's like a grilled chicken burger that I get there all the time, and I think it's fantastic. They have fresh ingredients. Thumbs up. I like DQ a lot. Yeah, I know they don't always serve like the grill side of things, but the one that we have here in town certainly does, and I eat there shamefully often. Well, not so much anymore, but for a while there it was bad. They have really good chicken. I recommend it. Little Caesars. Actually, DQ has a really good mushroom burger too. Like the mushroom Swiss burger is pretty good. Not bad. Little Caesars, the only time I remember eating Little Caesars is when I first moved to Vancouver. I just moved into the apartment. I had no food. So I walked up the street to a Little Caesars and got a pizza. And that pizza stayed in the fridge for like a week. And I remember the pizza being pretty subpar, but the crazy bread was like really good. That's my memory of Little Caesars. I'll put it in D. I wasn't that impressed with the pizza, but the crazy bread was good. That's what I remember. I don't think I've ever been to one since. I have a very limited palate being in a small town because we don't have a lot of these restaurants. Wendy's. They are building a Wendy's. Speaking of which, they're building a Wendy's here in town right now. Otherwise, I've eaten there a couple times, and it's been pretty okay. I haven't been blown away, but I haven't tried a lot of it, so I've never eaten a Baconator. I'm probably not missing that much. Granted, I've never eaten a Double Down either from KFC, so I'm not up on my meme sandwiches. But I'm excited for the Wendy's. Once they open up, I'm planning on trying some stuff. Baconator's just a bacon burger. You're not wrong. Everybody raves about Wendy's spicy nuggets, and I would like to try them. McDonald's has spicy nuggets now, and they taste exactly like regular nuggets, but slightly spicy. It's weird. They're okay, but they're not great. I don't know if they're worth like the extra $1. Just get the regular nugs and get some buffalo dip sauce, which they offer now. A little ethically shaky, true. A lot of these places are a bit shaky ground. Taco Bell. Okay, looking at this, I think I'm gonna move DQ up to S, because for me that's like my go-to. I love their food. Taco Bell is very good, but it's the only Taco Bell is like an hour away from me, so if I'm going there, I need to like make a pilgrimage. I have to drive to the city, so I'm usually doing something else, and I'll get it, on my way home or something. But what I've had is pretty good. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. A&W. Here we go. That's Canadian. I would happily put A&W up with Wendy's. A&W is a pretty good restaurant. They're not my all-time favorite, but they're a pretty good like go-to. They've got really good, like really fresh like lettuce, tomatoes, like fixings for the burgers. I find the burger patties themselves are a bit dry, but the burgers are not bad. The teen burger, the matzo burger, good stuff. It was built into a truck stop. Lots of A&Ws are built into truck stops, like tons of them. It is a big thing. It's not their primary locations, but they're very, very common on road trips. But yeah, A&W's got really good food, pretty good chicken. The main gripe that I have with A&W is that they don't put ice in their drinks, which I personally like having ice in my soft drinks, because I find it makes them a bit colder. It does make them flat later, and depending on how often they clean the thing, there's an issue with there's some sanitary issues there. I knew a guy who, whenever he got a drink from any fast food place, it was always without ice because of that sanitary reason, and I don't blame him. But I like my ice personally. But A&W doesn't put ice in their drinks at all. And I find every drink I've ever gotten from A&W gets warm really fast. The only exception to this is if you're eating in the restaurant, which isn't a thing right now, but if you're eating in the restaurant, they will serve you your drinks in chilled glasses. And they're like, there's frost on them. Like, they are cold glasses. Big hefty mugs. So that's the best way to drink their root beer. If you like root beer. If you don't, well, live your best life. My dad also used to work at an A&W a long time. He dressed up as the Big Bear mascot. The A&W Root Bear. It was a long time ago, but I had like a little plush toy of the Root Bear as well. The Root Bear he's a very good mascot, but I don't think they use him anymore. Now it's the only like mascot they have is like the short kind of like bald guy that shows up in all of their commercials. I have no idea who he is, but he's their spokesperson now. So my dirty confession about Burger King is that I literally have never eaten a Burger King ever. Like, there's none around me. I may have eaten there once, but I have no memory of it. So, sorry, BK, you're going in the gutter. It sure does exist. What? No, there. I think I'm just gonna delete the F row because I don't see me using an F. Domino's. Domino's is my fast food pizza place of choice, if I'm honest. Here in town, we have a Pizza Hut, Domino's, we have a Pizza 73, and a couple other like local places, which there's actually a place, I don't know if it's Canadian or not, but there's a pizza place called Panago that's pretty good. It used to be called Panagopolis way back in the day, but then they shortened it to Panago. They've got pretty good pizzas, but they're not on here. But if I'm like craving fast food pizza, it's usually going to be Domino's. So I don't mind that. But it's not like in my top tiers. It's okay. It tastes the same as all other fast food pizza to me. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Fiona. I mean, for me, Burger King is that there just literally isn't one around here. Like, even at Edmonton, I have no idea how many locations they have, but there's not very many. I don't see it ever. But yeah, Domino's is okay. I'm going to take Pizza Hut out of the list, and I'm also going to stick it with Little Caesars because they all kind of fill the same void in my life, which is that style of pizza. But I like Domino's a little better. I got a stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut not long ago, and boy, I was disillusioned with that. I hadn't had one for a long time, and I got one. I was like, this is not what I remember. This is not good. And fun story about Pizza Hut. At one point, when I was in Vancouver, they released a hot dog stuffed crust pizza that had like a hot dog wiener stuffed into the entire crust. Well, several hot dog wieners, I should say, not just one long wiener. There's an image. But so they had a hot dog stuffed crust pizza, and me and my roommates at the time were like, we need to eat this. None of us really wanted it, but we were like, we have to eat this. So we did. We ordered one, and it was the worst pizza experience of my life. It was, imagine like like on the commercials, and you imagine like this kind of plump hot dog sausage wrapped in, warm dough, and it's like, yeah, this could be pretty good. Like, it's pigs in a blanket, it's a thing. It can work. What we got was a the dough where the dough was rolled over, there was a hot dog inside there, but it was like shriveled up and smaller than the hole, so it looks like it was just kind of hiding in like a dough cave. It kind of looked like a Slim Jim, if I'm going to be honest. It was very small and dry and shriveled up, and it was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever had from Pizza Hut, and I will never forget it. I think Pizza Hut's wings are better than Domino's because they're Wing Street, but I like Domino's pizza a little better. But yeah, that's my hot dog stuffed crust pizza story that I will never forget. And then I noticed that isn't on the menu anymore. So something tells me that disappeared really quick. There are way better pizzas to get. There are better places to order pizzas from. I mean, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, they're all pretty cheap. So to me, they all just taste the same. Like, it's the same kind of pizza. It's just that doughy fast food style of pizza. And if that's what I'm looking for, cool. But if not, I'll probably order from somewhere else. This may be sacrilege. I, I like Subway. A lot of people don't like Subway, and like, putting aside the issues that they have had behind the scenes and the controversies, both minor and extremely high profile, i.e., their mascot. But I like Subway. I like the food. I eat Subway relatively often. I haven't eaten there a lot lately, but I like it. But the thing is, yeah, Fiona, I kind of agree. When I go to Subway, there is one sub that I order. I order the same sub every time I go there. It always tastes the same. And it's like, if I'm like, okay, I'm craving Subway, I'm craving that sub. So for me, it's like, that's my Subway experience. I don't eat anything else from Subway. Rarely I do. Sometimes I'll try something else, but if I'm doing something, I'm getting my chicken teriyaki sub. So that's why I like Subway. There's also 2 of them in town. Of all the places for us to get multiple locations of, we have 2 Tim Hortons, which makes sense, and 2 Subways. Go figure. We used to have 2 McDonald's, the real location and the Walmart location, but then the Walmart one closed up. Meatball parm, that's fair. That actually sounds pretty good. I should try a meatball sub from Subway one of these days. I think I had one once when I was young, and I have no memory of it. When I was really young, I used to get the kids meal from Subway with like the little round bun, and I would get the seafood, which was just like this blend of like, I think it was mostly just like imitation crab meat and mayonnaise. But man, I loved that stuff. And then I heard from a friend of mine that they got food poisoning from that seafood, and I was like, maybe I should stop eating that. And since then, I've never eaten the Subway seafood ever since. I don't even know if they still have it. I honestly wish there was a better like sandwich shop in town. Subway is basically the only one that we have. Because I would kill for like a better. Wait, we used to have a Quiznos. but I don't know if they're still open or not. The problem with my town is that it's basically like if it doesn't fit into a very rigid box, it's probably not going to survive as a restaurant. It's honestly a miracle that we still have a sushi restaurant open in town. Because that is like, sushi is adventurous eating for the people around here. Although we've got like, I think we have 3 Chinese restaurants. So I don't know. We have a lot of restaurants in town. Like, fast food and like sit down, like fast casual restaurants, we have so many of them for a town this size. It is insane. And we have 3 pot dispensaries in a town of less than 10,000 people. Go figure. I want to try I always hear people talking about like Jimmy John's and Jersey Mike's, and I would love to try those ones, but I'm pretty sure those are only in the States, or at least I've never seen one of the locations up here. Also, I think Jimmy John's has got some. I think the owner of Jimmy John's is a little sketchy, from what I understand. So. Chinese. There's one Chinese restaurant in town that I order from all the time because they've got the best chow mein. I love that stuff. KFC I am putting right next to Taco Bell as nature intended it. Because honestly, I like KFC. It does horrible things to me, but I like it. That being said, when I get KFC, I don't get their chicken. Like, I get their sandwiches almost always. Like, I haven't had, like, a piece of KFC fried chicken in years. I always get their sandwiches, because their sandwiches are pretty decent. But, usually what'll happen is I will eat a KFC sandwich, and I will be like, yeah, that hit the spot. And then, like, a few hours later, I will just be decimated. feeling sick. It's not great chicken. Like it's not the best fried chicken in the world or anything like that. But I like it. Yeah, the spices have a hold. They sure do. McDonald's is a pretty maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of that F tier. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move all these down. Because McDonald's is decent. Like they're very middle of the road for me. They have great fries. McDonald's fries are fantastic. Exactly. That's exactly right. Oh, for food safety purposes, all the Taco Bell menus were unavailable. That's concerning. Ugh. But yeah, McDonald's is very middle of the road. They have a grilled chicken sandwich. Well, they have a chicken sandwich. It's like a chicken BLT that they have up here in Canada. I don't think they have it down south. And it's really good. You can either get it with fried.
I'm getting better at this.
Thank you, Wordsy. I am. I don't know if I'm getting better at this, but my alert seems to think so. But yeah, there's a chicken sandwich here in Canada at McDonald's that you can get either like crispy or grilled chicken. And either way, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. That's kind of my go-to order. It's a little more on the expensive side, but I like it. I like the chicken sandwiches that they have at McDonald's. And honestly, if I'm getting fast food breakfast, it's probably McDonald's. It's either going to be McDonald's or Tim Hortons, like every time. They just have the best. It's fantastic. However, I think overall, like if I'm going to compare McDonald's to like Wendy's or A&W, I think Wendy's and A&W are just better quality. Yeah. Honestly, like, eating at McDonald's, we didn't eat a lot at McDonald's when I was growing up because my mom, it really didn't agree with my mom's stomach at all. So we kind of avoided it as much as we could. We ate at A&W the most out of these places probably. But McDonald's doesn't really, harm me too much. So it's decent for, something fast. If I can't really, if I'm like, I don't really know what I want, it's a decent choice. New York fries. They do have good hash browns. What's actually good is they have. I'm assuming they have it in the States, but they have the chicken breakfast sandwich. So it's basically the McChicken patty on an English muffin with cheese. It's kind of good. Like that's all it is, but it's like the spice on it. It's got like a pepper spice to it. It's kind of spicy. It's a lot better than it has any right to be. It's kind of weird for breakfast to eat fried chicken, but hey, live your best life. New York fries, I did not know was a Canadian establishment until relatively recently because it's, New York. At least I think it's Canadian. It's always in the food courts around here, but I haven't eaten it very often. Only once or twice. I think I had a hot dog there once and it was decent. I think it was in a poppy seed bun. It was big. But my main memory from New York fries is that New York fries was offering poutines. And they had like the regular poutine. And like, I never used to be like a poutine purist. But then I ate the one from New York fries and it was like a butter chicken poutine. So it had like pulled chicken pieces on it and like butter chicken sauce, and like it tasted good, but it was just too much. It ceased being a poutine and it just ended up being this mass of mush. And I was from that point onward, I was like, okay, if you're gonna call it a poutine, it's got gravy, fries, and cheese curds, and that's it. If you put anything else on it, don't be throwing like a bunch of meat and stuff into it. That's where it gets weird. Like a pulled pork poutine with like pulled pork and barbecue sauce, and just leave it alone. If you've got good gravy, if you got decent fries, and you got cheese curds, it'll be a good poutine. I guarantee you. I got strong poutine opinions. Poutine opinions. What's funny is that you can go into almost any restaurant, like fast food restaurant in Canada, and get a poutine. I'm not kidding. KFC has a poutine, which is honestly, with the KFC gravy, it's really good. It is like eating a brick, but the KFC gravy is fantastic. McDonald's had a poutine for a while. I don't know if they still do. I think they might. Which is crazy. Honestly, McDonald's fries aren't very good for poutine. I find. They're too small. You need like thick fries. That's my opinion. I don't know if Wendy's has a poutine, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they do. Arby's, I'm pretty sure, does. Dairy Queen does. Like, a lot of fast food restaurants in Canada will just offer poutine as a substitute for fries on the side or something, or just as its own thing, which is probably better because eating a poutine as a side is pretty heavy. The best thing that McDonald's had with its fries was they introduced like these Parmesan garlic fries around Christmas one year. And it was just a box of their fries, but they had like Parmesan cheese and like garlic seasoning on them. They were so good. They were so good. But they're gone. They don't have them anymore. They might bring them back for the holidays or something like it, but they were amazing. Amazing. Jack in the Box has those. I would like to try a Jack in the Box. I don't think they're Canadian. I don't think they're in Canada. But they've always been kind of weirdly... I've been weirdly drawn to Jack in the Box a little bit. I don't think I would be impressed, but I want to eat it. Do I want New York fries here? Yeah, sure. I have no memory of it. The Pita Pit, or in this case, the Tapi. There was a pita place in the dorm room of my university, and in my first year, I ate a lot of Philly cheesesteak pitas from that place, but I don't remember if it was a Pita Pit or if it was a different pita chain. It might have been like Extreme Pita. Working under the assumption that it was the Pita Pit, I am going to put it at a B, because I really liked those Philly cheesesteak pitas. They were really good. I wonder how they hold up. I haven't had one in like 10 years. More than that, since like 2007. That was probably the last time I ever ordered anything from a pita restaurant, because, I mean, really, who goes to a pita restaurant? Who goes to a pita restaurant and not like, if you're in a food court and you see a Pita Pit or like a fast food Greek restaurant, why not just go to the Greek restaurant? Admittedly, I don't like Greek food. I mean, yes, admittedly, it's probably absolutely nothing like what a Philly cheesesteak is supposed to be like, and I fully admit that. I'm not trying to I am not trying to pretend that it is at all. But I've never had a real Philly cheesesteak. I would love to. I would absolutely love to go to Philly. I've known a guy for like 20 years who has lived in Philly, and I would love to go down there and meet up with him. And well, actually, he lives in LA now, but I would love to try like a genuine Philly cheesesteak, but I've never had the opportunity. Tim Hortons. I think I'd put Tim Hortons in the B tier. Tim Hortons is a weird one because it's like a lot of the people who go to Tim Hortons go there for the coffee. Like the coffee and breakfast are not bad. They've got pretty fresh ingredients. Their breakfast sandwiches are okay. Probably a little better quality than McDonald's. But they also have like lunch menus. They've got soup and chili and sandwiches. And the sandwiches aren't bad. They have a chicken wrap that I always get that's pretty good. It's got a really good sauce on it. It's like a southwestern sauce. It's really good. But the chicken itself is like, it really looks like that processed chicken that is trying to look like real chicken cut into strips. So, it's not the greatest. Not the greatest quality of chicken. So Tim Hortons food is a little bit hit or miss, depending on who you are. But it's not bad. It's not the same kind of food, though. Like, it's hard to compare it to McDonald's, because they don't really have, like, burgers. It's more of like a... I feel like Tim Hortons is less of like a dinner restaurant and more of a lunch and breakfast kind of place. That's how I see it. And I'm pretty sure they stop offering food in the evening. Because I remember going there like in the evening later one day and they were like, yeah, we can't give you that. And I was upset. So I left. But Tim Hortons also has ice caps and iced coffee, which I really like. And they're pretty decent. And, donuts and whatnot. And honestly, their donuts aren't that great. There are better donut places out there than Tim Hortons. I'm not gonna go to bat for them on that. They're pretty run of the mill donut. I like their chocolate covered donut. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the best donut I've ever had. And the Timbits are just, I mean, every donut place has Timbits now. They just call them something different. They're donut holes. I think at Baskin Robbins they're like Munchkins or whatever. It's all the same thing. Topper's Pizza, I have no idea what that place is. Like I said, that must be an Eastern Canada thing, because I've never heard of them. I've never seen a Topper's Pizza. Could not even tell you. And Mucho Burrito. Have I ever eaten at a Mucho Burrito? I don't think I have. There are other places that I've eaten at, other like wrap places. There was a place that we had in town for like a very short amount of time called Badass Jack's. And I remember eating there once. And I got some weird kind of wrap that had like rice and like Thai spices in it. It wasn't that good. Anyway, that's my wrap story. Canadian fast food. All right. Well, that's my tier list for Canadian fast food. A lot of overlap with American fast food, admittedly. But there's a few places that are a little different. I don't know if I want to take a look, because there was a different one that I was looking at that had more restaurants on it, or that had different restaurants. Was it this one? Western Canada? No. It's here somewhere. Fast Food Great White North Edition. Oh, maybe it was this one. Yeah, this is the one I was looking at. Okay. I won't do all of them again, but we'll do some of the ones that we missed, because there's some different ones. Okay, so we did all these. Booster Juice. There was a Booster Juice right next to the pita place in my university dorm. And I remember going there a couple times and it being very underwhelming. I've been to Booster Juice a few times and I don't go out of my way to go there anymore. I'm not really a smoothie guy. I'm not crazy about smoothies. And there's too much variety. I look at their menu and I'm just confused. I get overwhelmed. They're not terrible, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go to a Booster Juice. 24 Pizza, never been there. This guy. Look at this lovable guy. This guy right here is the Burger Baron. Burger Baron, I'm pretty sure, is a Canadian chain. A fairly local Canadian chain. Yeah, I think it's like Western Canada. Fun fact, Burger Baron was the first drive-thru chain in Western Canada. It is an old restaurant. But yeah, Burger Baron, I never knew that Burger Baron was a chain, because the place here in town is like a small, old, run-down building. It's one of those places that's like, this is absolutely this place serves good food because it looks like it's been here for a million years. It's one of those places. And Burger Baron, it's got pretty decent food. They've got a mushroom burger there that I quite like. And they've got really good milkshakes. Like I'm pretty sure they use ice cream to make their milkshakes, and they offer many, many different flavors of them. But I don't know if that's just this local one or if that's all the Burger Baron locations, because I've only ever been to the one. But they got good food. So I'm putting Burger Baron close to the top because he's good. Plus he's got, like, look at this lovable mascot. He's amazing. Extreme Pita. I'm going to put Extreme Pita into the same category I put the other pita place, because I don't remember which one was which. Popeyes. Popeyes is going to be S tier. I only really ate Popeyes recently, but there isn't a location nearby. I got some when I was in the city, so I ended up getting some, and I got like just their actual fried chicken. I ate the sandwich. I got the sandwich to eat while I was there, and then I took like a box of fried chicken just home with me because I was like, I gotta know. And so I had some Popeyes like fried chicken at home, and I reheated it like over the next day and a half, and every time I reheated it, it tasted fantastic. Like, it didn't taste dried out or too greasy. Well, I mean, it was greasy, but I mean, it's fried chicken. But Popeyes, I was very, very impressed with Popeyes chicken. So that's definitely going at the top, because dang, that's the good stuff. Manchu Wok, I have seen before, but I've never eaten there. I think it's just like fast food, Chinese food. Shrug. I don't know where I've seen them before. They're not usually in food courts, because usually food courts will have like other Chinese restaurants. But I know I've seen Manchu Woks before. The White Spot. Okay, so do they have triple O's on here too? They don't. Okay. So the White Spot is a Western Canada chain that there's two branches of it. There's the White Spot restaurant, which is like fast casual food. So it's like a sit-down restaurant. And it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. I would put it up pretty close to the top. But there's also triple O's, which... yeah. So Triple O's is the fast food version of the White Spot. It's owned by White Spot, but it's a different restaurant. So it's not a sit-down restaurant. It's fast food, and they offer different food. Like, it's weird. I don't know how it works, but I'm thinking Triple O's was probably a different restaurant, and then White Spot bought them. Did someone put a pickle on top of that burger? Yeah. Yeah, see? They all have pickles on them. Pickles on burgers. Is the pickle hat their trademark? Maybe. It might be. It's not that uncommon. Like, I've seen burgers served with pickles on them before at, like, you know, sit-down restaurants. I didn't know that was not a regional thing. Maybe that's a Canadian thing? I don't know. But I know I've seen it before. Usually it's like a pickle spear, not so much just a pickle slice, just kind of slapped on the top of it like a tongue. But that might be part of Triple O's thing. I only eaten at a Triple O's once, and I had a burger that had peanut butter on it. And it was really good. It was really good. I don't remember what it was called, but that was my memory of Triple O's, and I remember it being pretty good. So, but Triple O's is only in Western Canada, and like actual Western Canada, more so BC than I don't think I've ever seen one in Alberta before. But when I was in Vancouver, I used to see it. Same with White Spot. White Spot has some locations in Alberta, but it's way more common in BC. And They're both pretty good food. I would recommend it. Either Triple O's if you're looking for something fast, or if you got some time, go to White Spot. They got good food, good burgers. Huh. All right. Well, I guess the pickle on top of, you know, a burger. I mean, do you get sandwiches served with pickles on the top? With like a toothpick through it? Because I've seen that all the time too. Sandwiches I've seen with pickles on the top all the time. I've seen it with burgers less often, but it still happens. Huh. I learned something today. That's weird. That's just a fairly regular thing. Like it's not like a super common thing. Like if you're making a sandwich at home, you wouldn't shove a pickle on top of it. But usually when you go to a restaurant and you get, usually like not a fast food place, but if you go to a sit down restaurant and you get a burger or something, not super often, but occasionally, yeah, you'll see a pickle shoved into the top of it with a toothpick or a sandwich. Interesting. I didn't know that was regional. So yeah, White Spot, pretty good. I'm gonna put it pretty close to the top. Carl's Jr., never eaten there. I think there's a Carl's Jr. in Edmonton, but I don't know for sure. But I've never had the opportunity to eat there. So, alas. We did Harvey's. I have no memory of Harvey's. I always used to get Harvey's and Arby's mixed up when I was young. Domino's, we've been there. Edo, Japan. I like Edo. Fast Japanese food. A little odd. But they used to have a fried chicken. Oh, what the heck was it? I think it was like a chicken yakitori or something. Can't remember what it was, but it was pretty good. I ate it. I haven't eaten it. I haven't eaten it at a very often, but the few times I have, it's been good. I think I had ramen there once too. That was pretty good. Did the screen get blurry? It's okay on my end. It doesn't look like I'm dropping any frames or getting any issues, but if anybody else is having problems, let me know. Connection seems stable on my end, but that's just me. Fat burger. Where would Fat Burger go? I think I'd put Fat Burger up here. I don't really consider Fat Burger a fast food. I guess it kind of is, because they don't usually have, like, it's not a sit down place. It's like fast casual, I guess. But my experience with Fat Burger is that they have good burgers, but they're like the messiest burgers you've ever eaten in your life, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But every time that I've eaten Fat Burger, I'm usually sitting in a food court, and so I'm just like consciously trying not to make an absolute disaster out of myself while I'm eating this burger. I haven't eaten there a couple times, but it's been pretty good. The only unsettling thing about it is when you order your burger from Fat Burger, at least at the location I was at, they like yell the order. Like the guy who takes the order will then yell the order, and then everyone in the kitchen will repeat it. And everybody yells it. It was really weird. And it just made me uncomfortable. Like, I know it's like a company policy kind of thing that's like, oh, it's shows camaraderie and it's fun. And I'm just like, I just would like a sandwich, please. Please just give me my sandwich and don't yell my order out for everyone in the vicinity to hear. I don't want everyone to know that I'm ordering this fat burger. You're on board with the fast food cult call and response. Yeah, it's weird. Fatburger is like the only place that I've really seen it that pronounced, and like you could tell that it's like they were doing it because they had to. Nobody really wanted to do it, but I don't really know anything about like Fatburger's wages and stuff, how much they pay. Probably not great, but I don't know. I don't know much about their company policy. But they make a mean burger. Jimmy the Greek is one of those Greek restaurants that I always see in food courts. Never eaten there. I don't like Greek food. I'm going on record. I don't like feta cheese. I don't like goat cheese generally. A little bit's okay, but I don't like the taste of it. If there's a little bit, fine. But if it's like garnished with a bunch of feta cheese and that's the flavor of the dish, nah, take it away. I don't want it. I don't mind black olives. But just like there's something about the flavors that Greek cooking usually uses that I can't get on board with. It's too bitter, too sour. I don't like it. I've eaten at a few different Greek restaurants in my time, and I've never really liked it. I don't like it. Not a fan of the Mediterranean diet. I know it's healthy, generally, but just not for me. Never been a fan. Mary Brown's. Never eaten at Mary Brown's. I would love to, but I've never seen one. Don't think you've ever had Greek? You probably have before. If you've ever had like feta cheese or some kind of goat cheese or something like that, then that's a big flavor. But also like lots of oils and vinegars, olives, olive leaves, I think they use in some cooking. It's not really an acquired taste, but it's something that it's not for me. It's lots of very, like I said, bitter and sour kind of flavors in their cooking. Not so much on the sweet side, or even as much salty. Just not for me. I've never had a gyro. Correct pronunciation. I always thought that they were related to donairs. I always thought that like a donair was like a subset of Greek food, but no, donairs were invented in Canada, in like the maritime provinces. Go figure. I had no idea. But yeah, donairs are Canadian, and they are delicious. But I've never had a gyro. But I'm pretty sure they're pretty similar. Like the donairs that I usually get will have tzatziki sauce on them. There's also like a sweet sauce that you can get on donairs. Nah, get tzatziki sauce. That's the good stuff. So I've probably had the flavor of gyros before, but just in a different package. Which admittedly I like. I really like tzatziki sauce. I'll give credit to Greek cooking for that one, because that stuff is delicious. Belly dancing. Wild. Opa is another Greek restaurant that I always see in food courts that I never eat at. Maybe I should try it one day, just to see. Maybe I do. Maybe I'll like it more now. My palate has changed. Papa John's is F tier. I don't care. I've had Papa John's like once in my life. I was very underwhelmed with pizza. I was very underwhelmed with we got like a garlic dip with it, and it was like butter. It was disgusting. And so I was underwhelmed with that, underwhelmed with everything about it, and I'm just disappointed in the Papa John himself, whatever his name is. He released, there was an article written about him recently where he was like, he's looking to make a comeback or something now after being canceled. Rolls eyes. But like the pictures that they took of him is like him sitting at the end of a table in his mansion with like a fireplace behind him and all this decor and like a dog sitting near him, and it's like he looks like a supervillain. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely absurd. So Papa John's automatically gets F tier just because of that guy, who I know he doesn't technically own it anymore. Oh, I didn't know Shaq owned it. Interesting. But yeah, for the record, Papa John, the man, is like trying to make a comeback now. Shrug. Hopefully we can all just go back to ignoring him. Shaq owns part of it. Yeah, I've only had it like once, maybe twice, and I was very unimpressed. I would take Domino's or Pizza Hut or Little Caesars over that any day. Quiznos. I like Quiznos. I would put Quiznos in B tier. I know I had Subway up here. I think overall I like the sub that I get from Subway more than I like Quiznos. But I've eaten at Quiznos a lot less. And Quiznos is a little better quality. And I like that Quiznos gives you the little peppers with your subs. That's cool. I never eat them because they're too spicy, but I like them. I like having them nearby. It makes me feel safe. Plus, Quiznos had the sponge monkeys. You remember the sponge monkeys, don't you? Everyone remembers the sponge monkeys. Early internet. It was a weird place. Rest in peace, sponge monkeys. Whatever happened to you? Robins. What is Robins? I have no idea. I've never seen a Robins in my life. Swiss Chalet. Oh boy. I've never had a good Swiss Chalet experience. I've only eaten there like a couple times, but the last experience I have of a Swiss Chalet was me and my girlfriend at the time. We went to a Swiss Chalet. She was diabetic. So, type 1 diabetic. So, counting carbs and everything like that. So we sat down, started looking at the menu, and she was looking at I can't remember what she was looking at. I think it might have been like the spaghetti or something. I'm pretty sure it was some sort of pasta. And we ended up looking up the nutritional value, and the carbs in like one plate of pasta at Swiss Chalet was like over 100 for one meal, which is crazy high. Like, that is insane, especially for a diabetic person. That is wild. That is so many carbs. And we just put our menus down, said, all right, we got up and we left because she can't eat that. And everything on the menu was like super, super carb heavy. It was wild. I've never seen that many carbs in so many things on a menu. And that was Swiss Chalet. That was the last time that I went to a Swiss Chalet. I also used to get Swiss Chalet mixed up with Red Lobster when I was a kid all the time. Because for me, they had similar names and it was all red and white, and it was just like, and we never ate there when my parents never took us to either restaurant. So, but Red Lobster is a much better restaurant than Swiss Chalet. Now that I've been there. 2017 poll rates Robins as the 7th best coffee chain out of 15 in Canada. All right. Perfectly average. Maybe slightly above average. But I don't think we have Robins in Western Canada. Or at least there's none around here. Taco Del Mar. We had a Taco Del Mar here in town. I have absolutely no memory of ever eating there. Well, no, I ate there once for sure, but I don't remember anything about it. So I'm gonna put it with Booster Juice. I'm sure it wasn't terrible, but it it was it was a burrito. That's all I remember. Taco Time, I would put above that only because Taco Time has the tater tots. I've eaten there only a couple times, and I know the burritos were okay, but one of the sides that you can get is they're just straight up tater tots, and I think they come with like a sauce that you can dip them in, and it's really good. Usually in a food court. A lot of the actual like Canadian chains are like food court only. Like you only ever see them in food courts. I guess except for like White Spot and Burger Baron. They're kind of established. They've got a lot of history. Taco Time is okay. I haven't eaten there enough to really form a solid opinion, but they got the tater tots. They got the tots. Thai Express, never eaten there. Again, I see it in the food court all the time, and I never go there because I like Asian food generally. Every Thai food that I've ever eaten, I've liked. I love pho. Like I love pho so much, but I never really think about going to like a Thai fast food restaurant. The next time that I'm looking for something to eat and I see Thai Express, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna get something, and I'll report back. The Pita Pit is going right next to Extreme Pita. Because again, I have no idea which one was which. Oh, I did Pita Pit already on that other one. Oh well. Walk Box. I may have eaten at a Walk Box at some point in my life, but I don't remember. It all kind of blends together. Fast food court Chinese food is kind of all the same, if we're being honest. So, I don't remember. Except, the one time that I went to a Panda Express, I was actually in the States. And I went to a mall and they had a Panda Express, and I tried eating it, and it was, like, it tasted different. Like, it didn't taste like food court Chinese food, or like fast Chinese food. It had its own kind of taste to it. It tasted a little less greasy, a little healthier, slightly. So, kudos to you, Panda Express. You did something different. Yeah, support small businesses. That is true. Yogen Frus. Never eaten there. They serve yogurt. That's all I know. And I don't eat a lot of yogurt. Especially if I'm out. Like if I'm out in a food court or something, I never think to myself, you know what? I should have some yogurt. Even like Frogurt. Frozen yogurt. I don't really think about it, so I don't do it. I rarely do the kind of like impulse food purchases like frozen yogurt, or there's actually a place in one of the malls in Edmonton they do crepes. They only do like crepes, and they've got like savory crepes. I had a smoked salmon one that was really good, and they do dessert crepes that have all kinds of fruit, or you can get chocolate and like Nutella and stuff like that. So I've done that impulse buy a couple times, and it's really good. But yeah, never had a Frogurt that didn't cause me to regret not getting ice cream. Harsh, but probably true. Canadian fast food plus. There's additional fast food rankings, including Burger Baron. Probably not a lot of Burger Barons out west toward the BC way. But if you do come up north and get the opportunity, I would definitely check out White Spot or Triple O's or both. They're pretty good. And there is a million of them around Vancouver and the Vancouver area. They are everywhere. Like the White Spot sit-down restaurants, I'm pretty sure there is at least like 5 of them in the greater Vancouver area. Like they are everywhere. All right. So we've ranked the fast food. I wish there was like more like general restaurants, but most of it is just like fast food chains. Because I would like to rank other like sit down restaurants, because those are actually more local, more Canadian. But I think we've dwelt on food long enough. Canada Dry sparkling water flavors. No. Cereal list? See, this is the problem with Canadian stuff, is that like, yeah, I could rank cereals, but like how many of these are actually Canadian? There's probably like 3 of them that are Canadian and the rest are just international. I don't actually know for sure, but it's probably like Fiber One. I don't even know. Harvest Crunch, maybe, are the actual Canadian ones. But like, everybody has these. Everybody has Corn Pops and Fruit Loops, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like everybody has this stuff. Honey Bunches of Oats. I couldn't tell you what on here is actually Canadian and what isn't. My first guess is that everything here is not exclusively Canadian, because I've seen commercials for these on various channels. They might be called something different though. Like I know Frosted Flakes in the UK are called Frosties, but in Canada they're Frosted Flakes. I think Sugar Crisp is called something different in different countries too, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, we all know what this is. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms, obviously. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters on this list other than Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms, and everybody knows that. That's just the way it is. Oreos are a close second. But I'm not going to do that, because that's boring. The Amazing Race Canada. A show I've never watched. Canada's Worst Driver winners. That's a little too Canadian. That is. Nobody's gonna get that one. Okay. So I know one of the ones I wanted to do was Canadian flags, because our provincial flags are wild. So we'll do a quick one here and rank Canadian provincial flags. First up, this is Alberta. This guy right here. I like Alberta's flag. I like everything that's inside the little like shield, because it's detailed and it looks neat. Boring but functional, but yet I don't like all the blue negative space around it. Also, Alberta kind of sucks. But hey, we're ranking the flags. We're not ranking how good the province actually is. This is... Oh god, I don't remember. Hang on. Provincial flags. I need to actually look up a reference because I can't remember. Okay, that one's BC. Yes. BC, I think, is a little better than Alberta. It's got a little bit more going on. It's got the sun, although it does have the Union Jack. Well, I guess British Columbia... Wait. What's Columbia's flag? Hold up. Okay. For a second, I was like, is this just a mashup of British and Colombia's flags? But no, it's not. Yeah, anything that has the Union Jack is a bit. I'm gonna put Alberta down a tier, and I'll put BC there. I do like the little crown. I mean, down with monarchy, but I do like the little crown. Who is this? It's Manitoba. Nobody likes Manitoba. I like the little shield here and the buffalo that's in there, but then you've got like the flag of, I don't know what region that is. Well, that's like a Switzerland's flag or something. But then you got the Union Jack, and it's like weird. It's got like this kind of off red color background, which I don't like, and it's like off center, and the Union Jack is half cut off. It's dumb. I don't like it. The white with red cross is the flag of England. Oh, right. Yeah. England's flag is that. The Union Jack is the flag of the United Kingdom, because it's a combination of England, Wales, and Scotland. That's right. Because Wales is the white and red cross, like the X on the angles, which is what gives it the inner cross. Gotta have their flag twice. Hey, we around here we worship the Queen. No, we don't. We worship the Governor General, who stands in as our Queen. I guess. No. The Governor General stands in as the Queen for political purposes. It's dumb. I don't know what the Governor General actually does. I'll be honest. But I know that they represent the Queen. It is a very important position for someone who doesn't really need to be around. Anyway, everybody shut up. It's time for the New Brunswick's flag, which is amazing. If there's any flag here that kicks ass, it is New Brunswick's flag. Look at this. It's got this weird elongated lion on the top, and then it's got a ship. It's got the yellow and the red. Yeah, there is no flag that is better than New Brunswick's flag. I love that flag. It's got a boat. What happened to Old Brunswick? It's probably in England. if I'm going to be 100% honest, it's probably in England, because most places that are new something probably existed in England already, and they just said, this is like that place, except it's different. So we'll call it New Brunswick. Speaking of new things, this is Newfoundland's flag. Newfoundland. I kind of like Newfoundland's flag, actually. It's got good colors. It's the shape of the Union Jack, but it's doing its own thing. It's got a good direction to it. Feels like it's pointing away from the flagpole when it's mounted. It's a good flag. I like it. Plus, my dad and his family are from Newfoundland, so I have a personal stake in that one. It's out there. It still feels like a flag, definitely. New Brunswick, also a New Jersey city. Yeah. There's also a London, Ontario, which is, when I was younger, there would be game shows on Canadian television for kids, and every single time that there was a prize package that was won on those kids' game shows, the trip was to London, Ontario. Every single time. And so in my mind, I was like, London, Ontario must be a cool place to go. But no, it isn't. It's just a place. There's really nothing special about it at all. So they definitely bamboozled some kids back in the day. It's a cheap place to go. Yup. Yup. It may have been where the show was filmed as well. So I'm not surprised. What flag is this? Okay, this guy is a flag of the Northwest Territories. Not technically a provincial flag, it is a territorial flag. And I kind of like it. It's got like a wolf head on it. It's got a lot going on. I like the colors. Kind of odd choice to pick like a green and yellow for the Northwest Territories, because there's not a lot that's green and yellow up north. But I like it. I think it's alright. It definitely looks like a flag, but it's got a little bit of spice to it. This one... Who are you? That's Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's got a cool lion coat of arms going on. You know, I think I'm going to bump down Northwest Territories a tier because I think Nova Scotia's flag is a little better. Well, you know what? Nova Scotia's flag still looks like a flag. It's just, it's got that flag flavor to it. There's not really a whole lot going on. It's got little tiny details, and it's got a lion on it, so it's kind of cool. But it's kind of middle of the road. A lot like Nova Scotia in general. This flag, I know what this flag is, because this flag was only created like a few decades ago. This is none of it. I will have none of it. The newest territory. Old Brunswick is actually in Germany. New Brunswick is named in honor of King George III, descendant of the House of Brunswick, aka House Braunschweig. Derived from the German city of that name. Huh. Fascinating. Alright, well, New Brunswick is named after a German town. Well, a king who was a descendant of a German house whose name was after the city. So there you go. That's why New Brunswick is New Brunswick. But yeah, none of its flag is... None of its flag is kind of interesting. I like none of its flag. It's got a good flavor to it. I like it. Good power to the indigenous folks. Exactly. That's what I like. I remember when none of it became a territory. It's only existed for like 25-ish years. I don't think it's been 30 years yet. Maybe it'd be like right around 30 years is only how long it's actually existed. Because it used to just be the Northwest Territories, was all that space up north. And then, I don't know the history behind it, but they decided, nope, we're going to split it. And then the eastern half of that land will be a new territory called Nunavut, and the Northwest Territories will be the west side, and then there's the Yukon west of that. 22 years. Yeah, it's very recent, very young. It's officially created in 99. Really? It feels older than that to me. Huh. But yeah, very young territory. I've never been that far north. I've never been up there before. There's not a whole lot up there. But hey, more power to the indigenous people. Started drawing it in 93. Okay, so it was in the works for a while. I should really look into that history. It feels weird that that's a part of Canadian history that we never learned about, even though it was happening in our lifetimes. Yeah, they were drawing the borders, yeah. I'd be interested to learn about that kind of stuff, but we didn't learn about that Canadian history. Instead, we learned about John A. MacDonald and the fur trade. Oh my god, we learned so much about the fur trade. Anyway. This is Ontario. I do believe. Yes, that one's Ontario. Ontario's flag is exactly the same as Manitoba's flag. I don't like it. It's got a little flower in it. It's got the same design. It's the exact same design as. Why does Ontario and Manitoba have the same flag design? They don't even they don't touch each other. They're nowhere near each other. Ontario is Eastern Canada, and Manitoba's considered part of Western Canada. You copied Manitoba's homework? I'm pretty sure it's the other way around. If anything, Manitoba copied everyone else's homework. Don't go to Manitoba. Nobody likes Manitoba. This flag is also pretty rad. It's also very self-explanatory. This is Prince Edward Island. It's got the same lion as New Brunswick. Well, slightly different. But it's also got a picture of a literal island. There you go. That's Prince Edward Island. That's a cool flag. They both copied the old Canadian flag. Oh, yeah. Now that you mention that, you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, the old Canadian flag was definitely this design. I always forget about that. You'd think that after learning about Canadian history in school for many, many years that I would retain more of that information. But no, I didn't. But yeah, PEI's flag, Prince Edward Island's flag is pretty cool. The coolest flags are absolutely the hardest ones that you would ever have to recall from memory or try to draw. But they're cool. That one's got an island. That one's got a boat. They're best friends. This is Quebec. Quebec's flag is very French. I like it better. I like it better than Alberta's flag. I'll be honest. I like the fleur-de-lis. I am rather partial to the fleur-de-lis, so taking my boat flag to my island flag. Yeah. There we go. Looks like the wind is blowing this way. Lions are reaching for each other. Well, this one's reaching for this lion. That one's trying to escape. But yeah, Quebec's flag, not bad. I don't mind it. Quebec as a province, That one's a little more shaky ground. Also, fun fact for anyone out there who has ever pronounced it, it is absolutely not pronounced Quebec. It is Quebec, more like a K than the QU. So keep that in mind. It's something that I kind of try to do. No, I don't think anybody's really going to care that much except for people in Quebec, but it's something that I try to do. Yeah. QBK. That one might get you some looks. Yeah, I've never been to Quebec. I know somebody that lives in Montreal. Although Montreal is one of those places that's not a good example of the rest of the region. It's something like Hong Kong to China. It has a lot of the culture there, but it's very different from the rest. Montreal is a lot more English friendly than some other parts of Quebec. There are a lot of people in Quebec there's probably a lot of people in Quebec who are a lot like Alberta, who are we want to separate from the rest of Canada. And everyone else is no. Please stop. The gold lion on red field also occurs in the Royal Arms of England, also the coat of arms of the Duchy of Brunswick-Luneburg. Yeah, I knew that the lion was an English thing, because I've seen that before on historical flags. But it's a cool lion. Lions are cool. Put them on flags. This is Saskatchewan's flag. It's got the green and yellow. green and yellow, which are good. That's Saskatchewan colors. Flag of Saskatchewan. Let's see. Flag of Saskatchewan. The provincial flag of Saskatchewan is blazon per fest vert and or. Well, okay, that's green. Per fest. I don't know what that is. In heraldry, the field of shield can be divided into more than one area. So it's split into two, green and yellow, or gold. And it has a prairie lily, which is their provincial flag, is the tiger lily. I love that flower. It's super cool. Dexter Chief and Etskatchin of the coat of arms of Saskatchewan. Oof. Flag terminology is interesting. I've never really gotten that deep into it before, but it's deep. There is a lot of history with flags. Boy howdy. Thanks for that, Europe. But yeah, I like Saskatchewan's flag. It's got the lily on it, the tiger lily. I think that's cool. That's a neat flower. It's very vibrant, very colorful. And I kind of like the green and yellow. It's a good combination of colors. Very boring province, but it's got an alright flag. I'd take it over Alberta. I don't like the blue. And last, that's Yukon. That is the flag of the Yukon. Yukon Territories. Is that a cow? Okay. That is not a cow that's standing on top of it. It is a wolf, in fact. Which makes it slightly cooler. I feel like this flag is trying too hard. I'll be honest. Like, Northwest Territories has got the same kind of design, but it feels restrained and symbolic. Whereas Yukon Territories is like, we got flowers coming out the sides, and we got a wolf sitting on top, like a photorealistic wolf. And we got these red mountains and this other stuff in our coat of arms, and it's just, okay. Tone it down. Wolf standing on top of an old tiny hat. Hang on. Alright, I'll get a better... Indeterminate. Oh god, it's huge. Like, look at this. It might be a hat. I don't know what that is. Could be a hat. There's too much going on this flag. They're trying too hard. Gotta boot this dog though. Boot. All right. Do I make any choices here? Even the triangles have patterns. I'm gonna bump Yukon down a bit. They're they're trying too hard. Nobody cares about you, Yukon. I'm sorry to say. If people are talking about like northern territories, I mean, honestly, Alaska's basically the only region up north that people really care that much about, other than like Yellowknife. But as far as Yukon is concerned, there's not a whole lot going up there, other than like gold mining. And I'm not kidding about that. There's a lot of gold mining up north in the Yukon. It is still a thing that happens. There's a lot of money you can make up there, but that's a job. Canadian flags. The definitive ranking. mean, New Brunswick takes the cake. The colors, the boat, the lion. Can't go wrong. Doesn't have Canada's flag here, which admittedly, I'd probably put Canada's flag in like A tier. I like it. It's simple, distinctive, the red and white, good colors. Could be a little more interesting, but the maple leaf is just difficult enough to draw that makes it look like there's stuff going on, but still simple enough that it's not overwhelming. Yeah, easy to make fun of, but shows they're willing to be made fun of. Exactly. McDonald's Canada full menu. What is even different on here? Oh, that's the chicken sandwich I was talking about. Most of this I think is the same. I don't know if you guys have the chicken wraps. There's a poutine. But most of this is just like, that's just a Big Mac. That's a McChicken. Like, you can get that literally everywhere. You go to a McDonald's anywhere in the world, you can get a Big Mac, presumably. What kind of... I don't drink beer, but I want to see what's in here. Oh boy. I've had a few of these before. Caribou is a cheap beer, let me tell you. Canadian ice cream cone? Was there an ice cream cone in it? Oh yeah, there is. Soft serve ice cream cone. I never get ice cream cones. I don't like soft serve ice cream. Generally. USA, Canada, popular birds. Oh my good lord. That is so many birds. I like birds. I don't know if I like birds this much. There's like, I could probably identify like a quarter of these. Drowning in birds. Owl. Duck. Oh, cardinal. Hell yeah. Red bird. I guess blue jay blue jay's okay. I like the cardinal more than the blue jay. Eagle. Eagles are cool. I don't know a lot of birds. Where's the pigeon? I saw a pigeon in here. I know some birds. Oh, puffin. Puffins are Canadian birds. Puffins are amazing. Puffins are fantastic. They had to invent porgs in Star Wars in order to replace puffins because there were so many of them. Puffins are great. Porgs are terrible. They should just slip a porg in here. just some sort of fictional bird. Just slide it into this mess and just be like, yeah, this is what it is. Turkey. Turkey is delicious, but it's kind of a disgusting bird, honestly. Swans are D tier. They're very pretty, but they... Puffins are a big Eastern Canada thing. If you go out to like the maritime provinces and go out to the coast, you will see them. See tons of them. I went on a boat tour when I was young, and there was hundreds of them on the cliffs around the ocean, just absolutely drowning in puffins. And I like them because they're cute and they have colorful beaks. I was enamored with puffins when I was a kid. I still think they're cool. I'm impartial to like the rest of these birds. And some of these might not be real birds. That is very true. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Penguins. Are there penguins on here? I'm going to be upset if there's no penguins. They're birds. I don't think there's penguins. That's upsetting. Woodpecker in the bottom row. Oh, you're right. There's well, I think there's several woodpeckers, but this is the one I recognize. He's okay. This woodpecker is responsible for Woody Woodpecker. So keep that in mind. Nothing to say on seagulls? Oh yeah, oh my god, look at how many of them there are. There are not this many different types of seagulls in the world. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anyone says. There's not this many variants of seagulls in the world. There just isn't. Oh, no penguin. Oh yeah, I guess this is USA and Canada. That's true. I'm sure there's penguins up north in Canada. Come on. Actually, no. I think penguins are only in the southern hemisphere, aren't they? Which is weird to think about. Seagulls will take up the same space as pigeons because they're basically the same bird. They are trash. They are trash birds. Quails. I like quails. They have a funny name. I like to say quail. And I've always wanted to eat quail eggs because I think they would be tasty. They're small. They're like bite size. Just boil one and just pop it in your mouth. Sounds good. Plus, Doug was Quail Man, and that will forever be burned into my memory. He tied a belt on his head. Wild chicken, too. I want to eat wild chicken. Because I think it would be delicious. I haven't eaten a lot of like wild game, but I think I would like it. I've had deer. Pretty sure I've had moose. I'm pretty sure I've had elk. But my mom doesn't like wild meat because it's got like the gamey taste to it, and she doesn't like that. But I think I would. I don't really. I should buy more of it. There's a butcher shop here in town that I'm sure would sell like deer meat. I should go get some. Oh, here we go. Canada Goose. This boy right here. You're better than pigeons and seagulls, but you're still kind of a dick. Not as much as swans. Swans are actual evil birds. Buffalo is very good, yes. Buffalo, I think my mom can eat buffalo because it's very mild on like the gaminess. Tends to be pretty popular for that kind of thing. More lean. But yeah, buffalo is very good. It's been a long time since I've had buffalo, now that I think about it. I've eaten alligator before. Tastes like chicken. Tasted like chicken, had the texture of pork. Any corvids? Oh yeah, of course. Right here. This boy. I know I saw magpies. Yeah, there's a magpie. Magpies and crows, both corvids. They're related. Corvids are pretty cool. Magpies are slightly less cool than crows. They're annoying. Same family, but they're much less interesting. Well, they're more colorful, but they're very loud and screechy. There are not this many different kinds of ducks. Get out of here. I don't believe you. Yeah, crows are smart. I love me a good crow. I don't know if that's supposed to be a crow or a raven. Because presumably they would both be on here. We have both of them around. I don't see raven. All right. Oh, okay. I think that might be raven, and this might be crow. Inconclusive. One is a crow, one is raven. I don't know which one's which. It is smaller. I can only assume that that's the crow and that's the raven. But these pictures are not that helpful overall. I guess I like snow owls. This owl is less cool than the other owl. The barn owl is disgusting. I don't care what anyone says. They're horrifying. Get them out of here. Never look at their legs. Ugh. Whatever. Like, what is this? I wish you could see like the names of these images so you can tell what they are. It's like, what is this? What kind of stupid bird is this? Pelican. Pelicans are okay. They eat cell phones in Briscoe Bay. I guess. Is that a parrot or is that a parakeet? My opinion on the chickadee. I don't know which one is the chickadee. Chickadees are okay. I like birds. And they're a decent bird pet, but they are fairly loud. Everybody is all about the parakeet for like a pet bird, which I'm okay with, but I like the smaller birds too. They get less attention. But they're fun. That is true. There's not really a lot of wild parrots around here. I don't really know if there's wild, like, parakeets either. There is one bird that around here that has a very distinctive call. Like, it's actually kind of like a song. But I have no idea what kind of bird it is. It's very, like, a very melodic kind of song. But I don't know what kind of bird it is. Oh, there's probably robins in here too. Yeah, there's Robin. You're okay. Hawks. I guess hawks could probably sit with the eagles. We don't have a lot of them up here. Is that a hawk or is that a hawk? Or are these hawks? What's happening? This is too many birds. If you were the person that can look at this and name all of these different birds, that's too many. It's too many birds. That's too much. Too much bird content. Falcon. Yeah, these are the falcons. That's right. That's the one I was thinking of. A blue jay? Well, there's that blue jay, but there's this blue jay. This is the iconic blue jay right here. Those are the ones that we have around here. I don't know. These are all presumably blue jays. Different variants. This, where did I see that one? This looks like a wild turkey or some sort of turkey. Maybe a wild chicken. Pheasant? Maybe? Perhaps? Seen the one with the black head before? Yeah, I definitely haven't. We definitely have blue jays around here, but I've only ever seen this style of them. Well, we don't have cardinals around here, though. At least if there are cardinals around here, they're very, very rare. I don't think I've ever seen one in person. Although I guess the same goes for owls too. Like I've only seen owls in the wild a couple times. They are very elusive. Probably for good reason. These three, I think these are herons, but these three herons look like they're doing a walk cycle. Like this is the 3 frames of animation. They are definitely doing the swiggity swooty. Why are some of the birds doubled? I don't think they are. I think these are all variants. There's some that look very, very similar, but I think these are all actual variants. Oh, the ones that have 2 birds. That I don't know. These are just drawings they probably pulled off Wikipedia. So for some reason, these have 2 birds instead of 1. Because, maybe there's a variation between like the male and female, because these ones are different. This one has a little red marking. This one doesn't. Yeah. That would be my guess. Although, the ducks have that. And there's only the one duck. They only show a mallard. Unless one of these is the female duck. No, it doesn't look like it. Inconclusive. Yeah, sexual dimorphism is pretty common in birds. I think, like, cardinals have it too. With the fringe on the top. Maybe. I might be wrong about that. This reminds me, there was a TV show on... I don't know if it was international. It might have just been Canadian, but it was about birds. And the theme song was the Bird is the Word song. And I remember watching it as a kid and liking it, but I don't remember anything about it. The main character was a blue jay. That's all I remember. I think it was just called, like, Birds or something like that. I have such vivid memories of this show, but I don't remember any content from it. Which seems to be a pretty common thing with Canadian cartoons. Oh, that's one I should do. Hang on. Okay. Say goodbye to the birds. I'm going to save this. Birds. Birds. That is my definitive ranking on birds. There are no other birds in the world. Or at least in North America. I don't care what anybody says. These are North American birds. Period. Done. Canada cartoon. Estadios Canada. Cartoon Network, Cartoon Reviewers, Part 2. Is there no tier list for, like, Canadian cartoons? Because there's, like, a billion of them. Playground Equipment tier list. Okay, that one has promise. Frozen pizza in Canada? Female cartoon hotties. Cartoon hotties, male. That's dangerous. But I have to know. Citizens of Canada Land. Canada streaming service. Really? I think this is supposed to be grocery store, but this is Canada Grokky Store. Chocolate candy. Oh, yeah, doing like chocolate bars might be good. Canada's Prime Minister's ranked. I want to see how many of them I can actually recognize. Okay, I want to see what's in here. This is mostly international stuff. I'll find a better one for that. Canada's Prime Ministers. Okay, I'm only gonna pull the ones that I actually recognize. That's Jean Chrétien. I know him. I mean, Justin Trudeau, obviously. Stephen Harper. Oh God, that's Pierre Trudeau. That's Justin's dad. John A. McDonald is right there. Who was the prime minister before Stephen Harper? It was this guy, I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember what his name is. It was like Stephen Martin or something. He was really boring. I don't remember anything about him. Jean Chrétien was French and had a stroke at one point, so he talked a little weird. And he was very memorable, very outspoken. So he was very memorable. Justin Trudeau is very memorable for other reasons, mostly for being the son of Pierre Trudeau, who a lot of people... Pierre Trudeau, you either love him or you hate him. And boy howdy, do people out here hate Pierre Trudeau. Also Justin Trudeau, by virtue of him just being a liberal. Everyone out here hates him. John A. MacDonald was the first prime minister, and he was an alcoholic. Stephen Harper was this weird-looking guy who has one of the most punchable faces I've ever seen in my life. And he's a bad, bad man. I don't know who this is. I didn't even know we had a female prime minister at any point. The guy before Harper it was like Stephen Martin or something, like Steve Martin, not Steve Martin, but something Martin. I'm pretty sure Martin was his last name. No, because it was Stephen Harper. Paul Martin, that was his name. I think. He was a liberal, I know that. Yeah. I was around high school when he was in power, Paul Martin. But I don't remember anything about him. Not a thing. Other than he was the Liberal Party leader, and then Stephen Harper came into power after that, and Stephen Harper was in power for a long time. And he looked weird the entire time. And then Justin Trudeau took over, and here we are. We just had an election not very long ago. Justin Trudeau actually called an election because he wanted to get a majority government, and then he didn't. And so now we're going to have another federal election in like 2 years to probably get the exact same result. Fun times. Canada politics. I can't name any of these other people. I'd probably recognize the names if I saw them, but Kim Campbell, she was only in office for 5 months. That would do it. That would be why I don't remember who she was. That's interesting, though. I like the fact that she's included in this list. Fascinating. Yeah, because we don't have, like, none of the party leaders that we have are... Well, I think the leader of the Green Party might be female, but the Green Party is never, ever going to be elected party leader of the House. Never in a million years. So, and none of the other parties have a female lead. That would be interesting, though. I don't know who the rest of those old stuffy white guys are. But never mind about that. Let's move off the topic of stuffy white guys and talk about female cartoon hotties. Oh my god. No, I can't do this. I can't do this. I mean, this isn't Canadian. But most of these are like beyond my time. I didn't watch any of these as a kid other than like the Disney ones. And even then I didn't watch the Disney ones. So I would not consider most of these lovely ladies to be hotties. Other than Dexter's mom, of course. A good chunk of these are teenagers or underage, and that's uncomfortable. So, I'm not gonna do that one. Except for this cow. Anyway. Yeah, there's an awful lot of children on the list. And it's like, if you grew up with those shows and, you know, you had a crush on this character, okay, that's fine. But way too uncomfortable for me to be looking on that. All right, we're talking about playground equipment. Again, this isn't Canadian, but I don't want to do this. Maybe this is, some of this stuff is Canadian. Who knows? Rate all the school playground equipment from Canada. Okay. Yeah, hottie is not the good term for, you know, had a crush. That would be a better way to put it. But we'll move on. Okay, playground equipment. The X's and O's are awesome. I mean, I don't really have countless memories from playing on them, but they're cool. Yeah, PO, you're right. It's the unfortunate truth with animated characters. Sometimes you just gotta move on. The fake ship wheel, that's definitely S tier, although we didn't have one. There was, you know what the most fun thing was? We had a tire castle in one of our playgrounds around here. It was just like this big fortress built out of tires. It was disgusting. They ripped that whole thing out because it was absolutely disgusting inside there. But that thing was so cool. But they don't have it here. It's not sanitary whatsoever. That thing sucks. I mean, everybody did the get all the things spinning at once. That's just what you do with those. We had, in the playground that was closest to where I lived, at my school actually, we had a pole that was like this, but it didn't have the little like spiral section on it. It was just a pole. And I basically got to the point where I could safely and comfortably slide down that pole from like the top. And I had a ton of fun with that. And then like the next summer, they had replaced it with the one with the spiral on it. And I couldn't slide down it anymore. And I was so disappointed. So I don't like that thing. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that thing. Like, you climb up, I guess? It's a dumb ladder. Pole slides are rad. Spiral is much less cool. The tunnel slide? Tunnel slide is pretty neat. Especially for electric discharge. I mean, all of these slides are. But the tunnel slides were always the best. This thing, it's okay, I guess. I'd never had some of these when I was a kid. The pad ones suck very much. You're absolutely right. This looks like a ship's mast, which is cool. So that's going in S tier. I assume that's what it's meant to represent, so it's going up there. This thing, I'm gonna put that down there. This thing was dumb, but it was like, nobody really played on the little like pyramid dome thing. It was just like a meeting place. Like, it's where kids hung out. Nobody really played on it or did anything with it. Oh, these things. It's really hard to see, but this is like a rail with a handle that would like slide back and forth. Like the handle would slide on the rail. That thing was cool. They got stuck really easily though. It was the out for tag. Sit in the cage and play Pokemon Blue. That's the nerd cage. All slides are fairly similar. The single plastic slide, the double plastic slide, it's all the same thing. Going down a slide with a friend sitting next to you isn't going to change the fact that you're just sliding down a plastic hunk of junk. And they're so little. This is the real beast. This is how children become men. No, they're horrible. The metal slides, the tall metal slides, are accidents waiting to happen, and they don't exist anymore. Tire swing. It's okay. It's picturesque, but it's They become 1,000 degrees at playtime. Yeah. My main memory, we used to have tall metal slides in my playground at my school, and a friend of mine ended up falling off the top of it. Like, he fell off the side and landed in the... I think we still had sand at that point. They hadn't replaced it with gravel yet, but he landed in the sand, and then he cried. And and I'm pretty sure like the next year those slides were gone. So they're just dangerous all around. Like they were quite tall. Like I would say the slides that we had were probably like 8 feet tall at the top. They were no joke. Well, they felt like they were 8 feet tall. Maybe they were like only 5 or 6 feet. I was a kid. Everything seemed huge. Anyway, tire swing, okay. Regular, I would take a regular swing over a tire swing any day. It's just easier to sit. You can just hang out, swing back and forth, get real crazy with it. My dad and my brother would go just to a playground with swings, and we would play a game where we would swing back and forth, and we would loosen the shoes on our feet. And at the apex of our swing, we would kick our shoes off and see who could get them the furthest. Usually when there wasn't other people around. And yeah, it was fun. We got some good distance some of those days. But I remember doing that a bunch with my dad and my brother. We didn't call it kickoff. I don't remember what we called it. I think we just called it like shoe kick or something. Oh yeah, we did. I did the thing with you let go of the swing and see who can jump the furthest. But you don't really get a lot of forward momentum off the swings. You mostly just kind of fall. Usually get hurt. Yeah, it's a good way to break your arm, especially now that it's all gravel. It still blows my mind that all the playgrounds, they replaced all the sand with gravel. It's just like, it's probably more sanitary, but falling onto it is just, ow. It just had dirt. It depends on the playground. Some of the playgrounds around town here were just dirt, but all the school ones had sand. I think they all have gravel now. Or actually, yeah, they might be wood chips now that I think about it. Wood chips get used pretty often too, which is weird. People are just going to throw wood chips at people. Bullies are just going to use the wood chips and throw them at other students. Like, just, yeah, sand can get kind of gross, but... Oh, you had the shredded rubber? I've never seen a playground with that shredded rubber stuff. I know it exists. I've heard about it, but I've never experienced it. Monkey bars. Again, like the static monkey bars were kind of just a hangout location. Kids used them, but most of the time kids would be on like the big stuff. That's the go-to. Ooh, the little roundabout thing. That thing was pretty cool. I have some good memories on that. I could never do monkey bars. I never had the upper body strength to do monkey bars properly as a kid. Even now, I probably don't, to be honest. I have a lot more upper body strength than I used to, but I also weigh a lot more, so... The spinny things were a death trap, but they were fun. When you could trust people. That's the thing. You gotta experience it with people you can trust, because otherwise you're in a world of hurt. Not about body strength, more about momentum. Yeah, I guess that's true. I never figured it out as a kid. I couldn't do it. I had thin, noodly arms. Never did figure it out. I could probably do it more now. Teeter-totter. Teeter-totter was pretty good. I wouldn't put it that high, but I liked it. I don't know if they still do teeter-totters these days. It's a good way to get hurt. I never had climbing walls. Is that I guess climbing walls must be a new thing. I've never seen any playground with climbing walls, but if we had them, I would be all over those. Because those are cool. That's a cool concept. I like the idea of climbing walls. But I've never experienced a playground with a climbing wall. Yeah. I was always scared of getting stuck in the middle of playground equipment and being stranded in some form. Oh yeah, there were some playgrounds that had like a rope climbing wall, but it was just like a flat wooden wall with a rope, basically. They didn't have like handholds or anything like that. There you go. There's your Canadian playground tier list. I don't know how much of this is Canadian. It just doesn't seem like much. Oh, a square pattern of rope. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I had some of those too. Depends on the playground that you go to. Kind of like this, actually. Like the ship mast. Climb up the rigging. A lot of children's playground equipment really seems to be training them for life at sea, it seems. I wonder if there's something to that. Like playgrounds were made back in the day to like emulate ships. Probably not, but man can dream. I just want my life to be more ship-like. Donkey Country cartoon episodes. Yeah. if I could remember what any of these episodes were, I would do this ranking in a heartbeat. But I can't remember any of these episodes. I know for a fact that I have seen all of this show multiple times, but I could not tell you what happened in any of these episodes. Even like I'm struggling to think. There was an episode where Donkey Kong becomes like a ghost, but yeah, I don't know. It should be the song tier list. That's right, because I could probably remember the songs. Huh. Well, there's not really much there. Let's just go back to general Canadian stuff. Chocolate bar tier list. I don't think. Maybe. Let's see if we can find something that's like Canada candy. Candy. Chocolate candy. Canadian candy. It's all kind of the same stuff. Chocolate bars might be good. Yeah. There's not really a lot of like strictly Canadian products like this. Like the ones here, like Arrow, I know is Canadian, which is pretty good. Bueno is probably Canadian, which is also actually, maybe. All right, okay, well, I'll do the chocolates because this one's pretty quick, and I have strong opinions about chocolate. So Arrow is quite good. Kinder Bueno is very good, very sweet. Baby Ruth, it's okay. I think I've had like one in my life. Okay, this is my hot take. I like Big Turk. Everyone I've ever talked to says the Big Turk is a terrible chocolate bar. I love them. In fact, yeah. I would take a Big Turk over either one of these, to be frank. The heck is a Big Turk? It's like I think Big Turkey is actually Canadian. So it's Turkish Delight. It is basically like a kind of red gummy candy covered in milk chocolate. And except the bar isn't like pieces. It's like a solid bar. It's kind of shaped like the McRib. It's got like it's weird. It's shaped really weird. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. Big Turk. Yeah, this guy. So Big Turk it's Turkish Delight basically, but it's very sweet. It's the middle is like kind of a gummy texture, and it's got chocolate on the outside. The liver of chocolate bars. Yeah, people hate Big Turk, and I don't know why. I love it. I think it's delicious. These minis, I can polish a bag of these things off in one sitting if I am not careful, because they just disappear when they are around me. They're dangerous. I don't think I've ever had genuine Turkish Delight, but this is like an approximation of it. It's not the real thing, but it's kind of what it's trying to be. Big Turk Mini is the name only a candy could have. Yeah, it's just Turk. Just regular old Turk. And now I want a Big Turk. Ugh. Butterfinger. I kind of like Butterfingers, actually. I'm going to bump Arrow down. Arrow is very solid milk chocolate. It's just like... It's just milk chocolate that has bubbles in it. And it's all bubbly. Arrow bar. Yeah, it just looks like this. Basically. But it's pretty good. It's a good chocolate. It's very sweet. Milk chocolate. But it's okay. I like it. But it's very one note. Like, it's chocolate. Period. There's nothing else to it. This Kinder Bueno has got like a hazelnut cream filling and like a wafer coating. So it's coated in chocolate, in milk chocolate. And I think it has a dark chocolate drizzle on top. And then it's got like a wafer, and then inside that wafer is like a hazelnut filling. It's really good. I'd put it in the same tier as Big Turk for myself. Butterfinger is... I like the squishiness of a Butterfinger. That's a bad word to use, but that's the only way I can describe it. There's no other chocolate bar out there that really tastes like a Butterfinger, I think. No, I'm getting that mixed up. It's Wonder Bar that I'm thinking of. Butterfinger can get out of here. It's all right. Wonder Bar is the one I'm thinking of. It's like really soft with like caramel, and it might be nougat in the middle. It's really good. I've completely reordered the list 4 times. Hey, take my chocolate seriously, all right? Caramel is right around the same level as Arrow. It's pretty good. But it is kind of one note. It is chocolate and caramel, but it really blends together. Very caramelly. I've almost never eaten a Butterfinger. Like I know I've had it before, but only a few times. So it hasn't been enough to really stick in my mind. Coffee Crisp is one of my go-tos. I love Coffee Crisp. Something about it is just... It's just right. It's really good. The wafers and the taste of the coffee. I don't really like the taste of coffee that much, but I like the smell, and I like the sweetness of a Coffee Crisp with the coffee taste. It's good. I like it. It is one of my go-to choices for a chocolate bar. Hershey's cookie and cream. I used to love these as a kid. Now I can't stand them. I can't eat these anymore. It's just like the white chocolate is too rich. It just thinking about it makes me feel sick. I don't mind them in small quantities, but like nah. Well, I don't know if it's that bad. It's not bad. It's just I can't do it. I prefer milk chocolate. I don't mind white chocolate, but I think nowadays I have less of a stomach for it than I used to as a kid. Crispy Crunch is also all right. I find it too hard for my taste. Too flaky, a lot like a Butterfinger. Just too flaky to get stuck in my teeth. I don't enjoy eating it as much as I used to as a kid. Yeah, white chocolate and other stuff is good. Like desserts, white chocolate in like desserts for cake or like cheesecake or stuff like that. Delicious. But just for, like a chocolate bar, it's too much. Crunchy. I don't like crunchy. I used to. But again, it just became too one note. Like it just tastes like toffee. And it's hard. It hurts my teeth thinking about it. And then like not only is it hard to chew, but then the toffee melts and it gets stuck into your teeth and it's just ugh. No, I would not enjoy eating that anymore. Nestle Crunch. I remember when this bar came out and when it was a new thing. It's pretty good. I like the puffed rice, the crunchy rice. I like that. I don't eat it very often. I can't remember the last time I've had a Crunch bar, but it's really good. I enjoy it. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are very good. I think most people would probably consider them to be S tier or God tier. But I'm not as into them. Not as into peanut butter. I've never really been that into the peanut butter cups. They're not bad, but I think if I had the choice, I would probably pick these ones over a Reese. Feel sick if you eat too many at once? Yeah, that would do it. It's the best ones are actually the little ones that you get around like holidays, like Easter or Christmas, or those ones. The little tiny peanut butter cups, those are the best ones by far. Yeah, the mini peanut butter cups are the best. The regular ones are good. They're better if you freeze them. And then any other variation of them isn't as good because the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is way off. Cadbury Dairy Milk is all right. It's just milk chocolate. That's it. You're going into it expecting any kind of twist or left turn. Nope. It is sweet chocolate, and that is all you're gonna get, which is fine. But I like to have something a little extra. Mom made peanut butter cookies with mini cups in them. Yeah. It's actually... I know someone in my family, I'm pretty sure, made like peanut butter cookies. And then, it took like a little mini peanut butter cup and like put it in the middle and kind of let it melt a little bit into the cookie while it was baking. Almost like those gumdrop cookies or whatever they are that have like the jelly in the middle. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what chocolate bar this is, but it's bad. Get out of here. Oh, looks like it's got almonds in it. I mean, it's probably okay. I don't know if I would call any of these bars rubbish. Ghirardelli could be. I don't recognize it. It's not one that I see on the shelves often. Hershey's chocolate bar. It is what it is. You know what you're getting. Yeah, these are like... Yeah, that's like cooking chocolate. Definitely. Kind of... I don't consider Lindt to be cooking chocolate, but it's like a higher end chocolate, definitely. Actually, I'm going to put that above. I like the Lindt chocolate. I think that's a pretty good quality chocolate. Yeah, it is much more expensive. Same with Lindt. It's way more expensive for the milk chocolate, but it's very good. I like it. I always used to have a bar of that around the house when my girlfriend was still here. because diabetic. Should keep it around the house. There would always be some kind of chocolate around the house just for her to keep her blood sugar up in case. And these were a go-to. So I've had the Lindt, yeah, like you can get the Lindt balls of chocolate, which are also really good, but I think I prefer the bars. It's a very pure chocolate I like. Maybe better than 1 bar of Hershey's. Don't know if it's better than 5 bars. It's true. Probably isn't, honestly. Jersey milk. This, I don't know if Jersey milk is Canadian or not, but it's also just milk chocolate. It's the same as dairy milk and Hershey's. It's just milk chocolate. You can dress it up however you want. It all kind of just tastes the same. Kit Kat is pretty good. I like Kit Kat. Why does Canada have so much stuff referencing Jersey? I don't know. We got stuff referencing all over the place. We referenced Germany, and we got the UK and London, and it's because we're a colonial country. That's why. Because we couldn't come up with names for ourselves, so we just stole them from other things that existed already. We have New York Fries, which is a Canadian chain. Yeah, I don't understand that one either. I always assumed New York Fries was from New York, and then I looked it up one day and was like, oh, it's Canadian. All right. Sure. We want to reference other things to make ourselves seem more relevant. Which is sad, but more true than it probably should be. Fries aren't even a thing New York is known for. Well, we don't know that. They also sell hot dogs. I don't know. New York Fries is a weird one. I don't understand it. Boggles my mind. Anyway, Kit Kat is good. Mars Bar is also pretty good. In fact, I'd even say Mars Bar is better than that. Hot dogs are a thing New York is known for, and New York Fries does sell hot dogs, but they're not like a main thing. Oh, they're absolutely not the right hot dogs. I can guarantee you that. It's just another thing on their menu, other than fries. Which is weird, because it's like, who goes to a restaurant for fries? Really? Things New York is known for. Hot dogs, Domettes, and walking here. Domettes. Love Domettes. And I love walking here. But yeah, like, who goes to a restaurant for fries? Like if you go to McDonald's and you're like, okay, I want McDonald's, you get a burger and fries. But you don't go to a restaurant for like, I want fries. I just want fries. Only fries. And like, I've had New York Fries. The fries aren't that good. They're okay. But they just taste like fries. They taste like potato. Like, there's all kinds of things you can dress them up with. But they're just fries. Sometimes you go to McDonald's breakfast and get like 6 hash browns. I would put that in a different tier. Like, the hash browns are not equivalent to fries to me. And I guess McDonald's is a bad example, because McDonald's are like, the McDonald's fries are their own thing. Like, I've never had fries in any other fast food chain that taste anything like McDonald's fries. I've had good and bad fries, but I've never had anyone that comes close to McDonald's fries, particularly. Usually they're like bigger or different kinds. Like, Tim Hortons doesn't have fries, but they have potato wedges, which are like seasoned. They're actually pretty good. I forgot all about them when I was ranking it, but yeah, Tim Hortons has potato wedges, which are pretty good. But New York fries are like the steak fries style. Like they're big, thick fries. They've got like the potato peel still on them. They're okay. Like they're decent fries, but they're just, I don't know. I'm never in the mood where I'm just like in a food court thinking, man, I'm hungry. I want fries and only fries. As opposed to, I'm going to get a burger and fries. I guess I could get a burger from like, go to Fat Burger, get a burger, and then go to New York Fries and get fries. If I really want to make myself feel awful. Where were we? Milka. This, more recently, I've seen this chocolate bar popping up, and I think it's German, or it's not a local thing. I'm pretty sure it's imported, and it's not bad. It's like, it's just milk chocolate again, but it feels like it's a higher quality. It's very creamy, very rich. So it's, I'd say I'd put it a tier above Hershey's. But that's about as high as it's gonna get for just being milk chocolate. Could go for some fries now. I'm actually quite hungry, and I would love to just dig into some McDonald's fries right now. Mr. Big, actually a pretty good bar. I don't get a Mr. Big bar very often, but when I do, I'm always surprised at how good it is. It's got a lot going on. On the contrary, O. Henry, it's not as good. O. Henry and Mr. Big, I feel like, exist in kind of a similar space, but they are very different bars. O. Henry is still okay, but it's not a Mr. Big. It doesn't have the same chew as a Mr. Big does. And I know Henry's got like peanuts and everything in it, which I'm okay with, but I'm not crazy about peanuts and chocolate bars. Like, it doesn't really make a difference for me. And that's kind of O. Henry's like main thing. It's like, it's got peanuts. Okay. Payday. I don't think I've had a Payday before. It's just got peanuts. It's not rubbish. I'm just going to change this. Because I don't think any of these are necessarily bad. But I don't think I've ever had a Payday before. Or maybe I have. I think I have like once, but I don't remember it. I would probably like it because it's just like, it's like nougat and peanuts, isn't it? Or does it have caramel in it? No, because that would be a Snickers. Peanut and caramel. Okay. Rolo is very good. I would say if you're going for like the chocolate and caramel bar, go for a Rolo over a caramel. I don't know why. I think it's just because they're round and you can play with them. You can stack them. And they come in a tube. It's more fun than a bar. Snickers is going to go into my god tier because that is one of my go-tos. If I'm like craving something sweet and chocolatey, I take a look at everything. Snickers is a good one. I hate Snickers ad campaign about like what the heck is it? It's like their whole ad campaign is based around like hunger. Like, you're not you when you're hungry. Like, you don't eat a Snickers when you're hungry. You eat food when you're hungry. When you eat a Snickers, you're looking for something sweet. Usually, like, it's a snack. Yeah. But it's like, Snickers is not a meal. Like, you don't eat a Snickers. I don't know. Maybe this is just me projecting. But like, if I'm hungry, I'm not craving a Snickers. I want food. I want, I want like a sandwich or something. Maybe the Snickers afterward. You know, as the dessert or the sweet snack. But it's not. If I'm hungry, I'm not reaching for a Snickers. Take 5. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, that's fair. If you need, you know, some calories to kind of keep you going, I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Although I think in that case there are also better things. Like a Snickers is in for me a Snickers would be almost too sweet in that case. I would go for something like I don't know, like a granola bar. Or I usually have like some chocolate covered granola bars around that I take to work all the time. Those can go a long way. So that's fair. And no, Fiona, I kind of agree with you in that like the whole idea, like the whole Snickers marketing campaign is like this weird form of like brainwashing, trying to make you think that like eat Snickers when you're hungry, even though most people don't really consider it that way. I don't know, it's weird. It's a strange world we live in. Toblerone. Toblerone, I like the way Toblerone tastes, but it hurts to eat it because it's triangle shaped. And I like every time I've eaten a Toblerone, I always end up in that situation having the bar and wanting to bite it. And like it's separated into such large pieces that like you go to bite it and the top of the triangle like jabs into the roof of your mouth. It's a very stupid problem that I am very hung up on when it comes to Toblerone. It'd be great if the budget of a single candy bar could substitute a meal. I mean, that's what like those meal replacement bars are all about. Except they also cost like $6 a piece. Toblerone's got a good taste. It's decent chocolate and it's got like toffee bits in it. I like it, but it's problematic to eat. For me and probably only me. Twix is pretty good. I think I'd take a Twix over any of these. Generally speaking. Probably wouldn't take it over like a Coffee Crisp or a Mr. Big, but it's okay. Canceling Toblerone for its problematic shape. It is though. Hang on. Like, you can clearly just break the pieces off and eat them individually. But like, when I'm eating it, I don't want to get chocolate all over my fingers. And so I just want to bite it. But then when I go to bite it, the top of this pyramid here just jams into the roof of my mouth and it hurts every time. I need to be this guy. Are there other flavors? Oh, they have a dark chocolate version. Huh. It's also like really solid chocolate. Like you got to put some force into actually breaking it. So when you do it with your hands, you end up getting chocolate all over your fingers because like you got to push pretty hard to break these things. Like that's a pretty solid chunk of chocolate in here. So then you end up with melted chocolate all over your fingers. And then what are you going to do? Canada chocolate bar. That is the chocolate bar list. Alright, we're coming up on 3 hours. I think I've done pretty much most of the interesting ones. Most of the lists that are like distinctly Canadian. Oh, I did that one already. Fast food tier, Canada version. Like, look at this. The thumbnail of this lists all these different restaurants, and then I go in here and it's like, there's 8. There's 8 of them in here. And there's 8 restaurants, and one of them is actually Canadian. Like, what is this tier list? Who's responsible for this? You. You should be ashamed of yourself. Canada's Wonderland Flat Rides. I don't even know where that is. A&W is Canadian. Yeah, I think. Pretty sure. Maybe it isn't. I always thought it was. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Lexington, Kentucky. It's an American chain. Roy W. Allen. For some reason, I always thought A&W was Canadian. Yeah, I know they're more rare in the States. Hang on. A&W restaurants in Canada have been part of a separate and unaffiliated chain since 1972. What? Okay. So, okay, weird. So A&W Canada is a separate entity, apparently. This is news to me. Which would explain why there's so few of them in the States. But it was founded in the States. Weird. Which one gives you root beer? Probably, it probably stems from the original A&W. All American food. Huh. I would assume that it stems from the original. Facing competition from the growing Canadian operations of McDonald's, the company launched what was to have been a temporary advertising campaign starring an orange-clad mascot, the Great Root Bear. The Root Bear is Canadian, baby. That's all that matters. The Great Root Bear, also called Rudy. What? That's also news to me. It was credited to Major Ursus. In the late 1990s, the Great Root Bear's role as mascot was reduced for the restaurant chain, ultimately replaced by the Burger family. Wait, I thought the Burger family was like something from a long time ago that they brought back more recently. What is happening? My whole world is collapsing. A&W root beer as offered at A&W restaurants in Canada. Okay, hang on. A&W root beer is an American brand of root beer. Okay, so the brand of root beer was originally founded by Roy W. Allen in the States. So the root beer stems from the original founding of A&W, so it's not strictly Canadian. Actually, I have been Mandela affected. Weird. The Burger Family? I thought the Burger Family was so much older that they brought back as like, hey, we brought this old thing back to modern times, and we brought back all of these burgers that nobody will ever eat. Although this does answer my question. What is the difference between the Mama Burger and the Teen Burger? The Teen Burger has lettuce, tomato, and a cheese on it. The Mama Burger does not. Interesting. Huh. Well, I learned something. The Burger Family. Breakfast cereals in Canada. This is all just the same ones. Like, these aren't Canadian breakfast cereals. I don't know if there are any Canadian breakfast cereals other than the Timbits breakfast cereal, which I have not eaten. Chip flavors in Canada? Oh, that might be a good one. What? There's 2 flavors of chips on here that are actually Canadian. Hickory sticks might be Canadian too. I can't remember. But like all dressed ketchup, and then the rest are just regular chip flavors. Like these are just Doritos. Can't keep getting away with this. And these are chips covered in chocolate, which is no, don't do that. All dressed and ketchup are the 2 Canadian chip flavors. And yes, ketchup chips are delicious. I don't care what anybody says. If anybody tells you that ketchup chips are not good, don't believe them. They're good. Yeah, we are soundly... I guess I should just search for Canada. I mean, ketchup chips don't really taste like ketchup. I'll put that out there right off the bat. They are very much their own thing. They are good. Canadian supermarkets. Canada province. I don't want to rate the provinces. That feels mean-spirited. Ultimate chocolate bar tier list. Canada plus US. Yeah, that's a few. There's so many there's so many reality show tier lists. I don't care. I don't watch these shows. Feels mean-spirited and Quebec will complain about where they are. Yeah. Doesn't matter where they are, they'll complain about it. Shows we watched growing up as Canadians. That's got promise. Oh my god. This is so many TV shows. This is so many TV shows, and I don't recognize a bunch of them. Oh boy. I mean, a lot of these aren't strictly Canadian. Babar. I don't think Babar was Canadian. I think Babar was like a joint Canadian French production or something like that. I'm pretty sure Babar comes from like a completely different country. Zooboomafu's in here, sticking around. Hang on. Sticking Around is the perfect cartoon series. I don't care what anybody says. I'm pretty sure it never aired outside of Canada either, but it was amazing. Me and my dad loved that show. It was incredible. There's another show. I wonder if it's in here. There was a show I watched a lot as a kid called Ned's Newt. That was really funny and had like a bunch of pop culture references and stuff that my dad found really funny. We both thought it was hilarious. No one ever... Like, that show was lost to time. No one ever watched that show. It doesn't look like it's in here, though. Okay, so these are some pretty deep pulls. There's some weird ones in here. That bar is French, but the 89 to 91 run was Canadian. Okay. Oh, they've got... So this is a show called Yvonne of the Yukon, which was Canadian. It wasn't great. It was about a French explorer who got frozen in ice, gets thawed out in modern times, and he's French, and he wears... He's in his underwear. It was a weird show. But one of the instructors at my film school at VFS was one of the writers for that show, for Yvonne of the Yukon. He taught the animation, writing for animation course. And I wrote a concept for an animated series combining Alice in Wonderland with The Wizard of Oz. Which is still a concept I'm interested in. I want to do something with that at some point, but I don't know what. They're both public domain. As long as you don't reference ruby slippers, you're okay. I recognize this show too, but I don't remember what it was called. Something about Andy. Something Andy was the name of this show. There's some deep pull in here. The Berenstain Bears. Speaking of Mandela effect, that's them right there. The poster children. Yeah, I'm surprised that an Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz crossover hasn't happened already. Like, it seems like an obvious thing, but I can't find any. There's like nothing prominent that has ever been made. Feels like it is ripe for content, but nobody's really done it. What else do we have in here? Caillou, of course, everyone's favorite cartoon. I don't know if Caillou is Canadian. I hated Caillou. I wonder if they've got... There was a show that I watched called Flying Rhino Junior High. Right on the cusp of like when I was getting old enough to like not really care about cartoons anymore. But I remember watching that one because it was weird. But I don't know if it was Canadian or not. Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of cartoons in here that are not strictly Canadian. Like Thomas the Tank Engine, that's British. Angela Anaconda, I know, was not a Canadian show. It aired on Teletoon up here, but I remember, like, I've known people from the States who have talked about how horrifying that show was. Cory in the House is not Canadian. There's some deep pulls in here. Oh, I remember this show, George and Martha. The two hippos. Again, I don't know if it was Canadian or not, but I remember watching that show. They were hippos, and I think they were married. I think there was a husband and wife. I don't remember. Oh my god, Cyber 6. I was too young to appreciate Cyber 6. Hang on, I have to look up. I have to remember. It was an Argentinian comic book series, and it was a very short-lived TV series. Country of origin, Canada and Japan. I think I would love Cyber 6. If I saw it when I was a bit older, I probably would have been obsessed with it. But I saw it when I was kind of a bit too young to really appreciate it. But it was a wild concept. It was a weird show to be on, like, surrounded by the other stuff that I was watching at the time. And it deals with a lot of, like, gender identity stuff. And I think as a young kid, that probably confused me a bunch. Like, So it never really clicked for me. I kept seeing it on TV and being like kind of interested in like the imagery and stuff, but I never really got into it. But I feel like nowadays a show like this could be big. But it only lasted, I think, one season and then got axed. But it was gorgeous too. It looked amazing. Yeah, Cyber 6 was really good in retrospect. Maybe it's not. Maybe it hasn't aged as well as I thought it did. Maybe it's not as good as I remember, or would like to remember. But I mean, Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's perfect. Brace Face. I remember that show. Again, that was right on that cusp of like, I'm too old to be watching this. Big comfy couch. I watched a YouTube video that went into detail, like the history of the big comfy couch. And I had no idea, but like the main actress, I think changed like 3 times in that show over its run. But I think I only ever watched the first season. But like I think the original girl in that show was like pregnant for some of it too. And so she had to wear like big baggy clothes to try and cover it up. It was weird. It was a weird show. Everyone was... I mean, Rhyme, it checks out that you would love Big Fun Comfy Couch. Everyone is clowns. It's clown world. It just makes sense. Rupert. I remember watching Rupert back in the day. I was always bored by that show. We live in the true clown world. Truer words have never been spoken. Undergrads. I was too young to really appreciate Undergrads too, because that was more of like an adult cartoon, and everybody always told me that it was amazing, but I was a bit too young for me. Ruby Gloom? Could be. I don't recognize that one. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Kim Possible. Never watched Kim Possible. That was after my time. Totally Spies. Again, that was a bit after my time. Not, I mean... things like Kim Possible and Totally Spies are like, they're the more girl-focused marketing, so I kind of tended to avoid stuff like that when I was young. Not that I was that young. Like Kim Possible, I would have been. Kim Possible would have been, I would have probably been in my teens by then, so that was after my time. Viva Pinata. I would forget that Viva Pinata had a cartoon. Oh, that must be Redwall. Again, I was too young to appreciate Redwall for what it was. Like, I always thought it was kind of boring, but I think if I was a little bit older, then I probably could have really gotten into it. Especially once I found out that it was like based on a long-running book series that had all this stuff. I only really got interested in Redwall once they did like a sequel series about his kid, whose name I can't remember. Mateo, I think was his name, or something like that. And then I went to a book sale at school, and they had some of the Redwall books there. And I remember, I think I bought some of them, but I don't know if I ever actually finished reading them. But yeah, I wish I was a little bit older when Redwall was on TV, because that could have been good. It has very little connection to the games for Viva Pinata. That's fair. Viva Pinata was the original Bug Snacks. That's my hot take. What else do they have? It seems like they don't have any of the Cartoon Network stuff on here, which makes sense. Those were kind of their own category. My favorite Cartoon Network show is always the one that no one ever talks about, and that was Two Stupid Dogs. I love that show. But no one ever remembers it or talks about it because it was just, it wasn't very memorable. It just kind of faded into existence. But Patrick Warburton was a large, or no, that wasn't Patrick Warburton. That was the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, whatever his name is. Brad Garrett, that was his name. Brad Garrett played the big dog because neither of them had names. He was always part of Dexter for some reason. You might be right. I feel like it was his own show, but I think it also had like it was also interspersed with like the shorts as well. Like yeah. But it was right around that. Like it was with Dexter. I do believe. Maybe I'm misremembering. This show, I remember this show. I was definitely too old to be watching this show, but I remember when it premiered. This was Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. And something about the Beast on this show was so like uncanny valley. I'm pretty sure I hate watched this show as a kid because I didn't enjoy it, but I couldn't look away. Let's see if I can find a better picture. The Ferocious Beast. Like, look at this thing. Is this thing not just horrifying? And it's like, in the show, he's like very mild-mannered and very pleasant, and everyone's very friendly. Like it's a kids show. Like it was very much like a young kids show, and it was like a train wreck. Yeah, they can take his spots off. Some sort of pepperoni pizza golem. Yeah. Who voiced him? He had a like, because you would think that like, oh, he's got, you know, like a ferocious beast voice. No, he's just voiced by some guy. IMDb. Like his voice is just this normal voice. What? Who? Oh, here we go. Stephen we met as the Ferocious Beast. Not particularly well known. Nope. Not particularly well known at all. He was a children's cartoon voice actor. That's for sure. I think that's most of the prominent shows in here. The guy who played Beetlejuice in the cartoon. Yeah, you'd probably be right. A lot of those same voice actors just kind of keep doing this stuff for many, many years. Clifford, I mean, yeah, Clifford was always good. I never really watched the cartoon much, but I remember reading the books when I was a wee lad. Barney. I was like the old school Barney. I was like a Barney hipster. I watched Barney when I was really young, when it was new. And it was just Barney and the green dinosaur. I don't remember them. Their names. Or her name. But then they started introducing all these other characters, and I was like, nah, I'm out. Or more accurately, everybody started making fun of Barney. And then I just kind of stopped watching it because that's not what cool kids do. Yeah, I was like right on that cusp. Like I caught Barney just at the right age, and then as, once you go to school, everybody makes fun of Barney. That's just what happens. Also, yes, Bear in the Big Blue House. He's there right next to Barney. I was a bit old for that one, but I did watch a little bit of it. Enough to kind of recognize the characters. Yeah, I don't recognize anything else. They have Elmo's World, but not Sesame Street. They have Sesame Street. It's right here. It's not, they don't have the logo very prominent, but it's right there. The street. It's kind of hidden. I think these are in alphabetical order. Oh, Magic School Bus, of course. Magic School Bus was pure magic, and Reading Rainbow. I always thought Reading Rainbow was kind of boring, to be honest. I never liked it. I just remember seeing the host, LeVar Burton, and being like, that's the guy from Star Trek. And then that was it. I like the opening with the butterfly. Yeah, it was the theme tune. I would watch it for the theme tune, and then they start reading books, and I was just like, who needs this? Weekenders. I was a bit old for the Weekenders, but I did watch Recess. Recess was my jam. Recess was a good cartoon. Remember watching Recess on Saturday mornings on Fox Kids when they still aired cartoons, because I would get up super early in the morning to watch the new episode of Digimon when it was airing on Fox. And Recess was either before or after it. So I remember watching a lot of Recess too. Yeah, they didn't really have much in common. Dudley the Dragon? That sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever watched it. I also thought Thomas the Tank Engine was a boring show. I didn't like it. It bored me. I liked the trains, but it was just not interesting enough. This looks really familiar too, but I can't remember what it's called. This dog is really familiar too. Madeline, that's what that show was. I remember watching that. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember it being on TV. Just like this hippo show. No, because they're not images. Like they're things. They're like objects on the page, so they don't appear as images. I wish that you could just like hover over them and they would have a title that popped up. I remember this show too. What the heck was this? It was like Orby or something like that. Oh, where are the raccoons? I remember watching raccoons all the time. That was a cool show. Also had an alien in it that looked very similar to that. I think. Might not have been an alien. Might have just been a weird animal. There's raccoons. What else did I watch as a kid? There was Mad Max. It's also not here. Those are old shows. Angry Beavers? Yeah, Angry Beavers isn't on here either. I remember that. That was another good one. Although that was Cartoon Network, wasn't it? And I think they're explicitly not putting Cartoon Network shows in here for some reason. Oh, it was Nick. That's right. Yeah. Another one that people tend to forget about. I have to see if Ned's Newt was a Canadian show. Co-produced by Nelvana, German company. Okay, so it did air in the States. This is one of the shows I watched in my childhood. This is Ned's Newt. This is the adventures of this kid named Ned Flemkin and his newt, who when he feeds it Zippo newt food, it grows into this giant man who is voiced by Harlem. What's his name? What is his name? Oh God, Harlan Williams. Yeah, the newt was voiced by Harlan Williams. It was a really funny show. There was because the newt, who didn't have a name, but he could transform into things, and so he would be like transforming into different things throughout the show. It's kind of hard to describe, but like it was filled with a bunch of pop culture references. Like the one joke I always remember, because I didn't get it at the time when I was young, but I understand it now. They're talking about something, and then the newt says something about like how like you're gonna mess up your teeth, like that weird guy from Moonraker, and then he turns into Jaws, and he just kind of stands there for a second. As a kid, I don't remember. Like, I didn't know what Moonraker was. I didn't know what he was talking about, but it was, it was funny. And now that I'm older, I'm just like, man, there's so much stuff in that show that would have flown way over my head. I wish I could find some place to watch this, but it's like this whole show has just been lost to time. It was weird. It probably didn't age as well as I remember, but yeah, I wish I could relive it. Ned's Newt. Oh, okay. This is too many cartoons. Is there anything else? Political party logos? Excuse me, who is this that has the dragon? This is a lot of political parties. This is abolish the Welsh something. Party. What is that? That is a weird political logo. It's rad. This is too many. This is too many political parties. Abolish the Welsh. Canadian holidays and observances. I mean, Boxing Day. I get it. Summer. That's not. Oh, first day of summer, first day of spring, winter. Okay. I don't really. I don't feel strongly enough about the holidays to rank them. Especially because one of these is Terry Fox Day. That seems a little. And Remembrance Day. Yeah, I think Remembrance Day is a good holiday, but frankly, I think Christmas is better. It's a little bad taste. Yeah, we have Groundhog Day. It's not a very big thing. Like it's not like a holiday. It's just Groundhog Day. It's kind of like Thanksgiving. Like our Thanksgiving is a holiday, but it's not nearly as big of a deal as it is for you guys in the States. Like it's we get together, we have Thanksgiving dinner and everything, but it's just kind of, it's much more low key. You broadcast some of our weird insanity. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about Groundhog Day to know if we abide by the rulings of Phil. I think we do. It's not an observed holiday. It's just it's not a stat holiday or something. It's just a thing. An observed holiday. Nothing else in here is really that weird. I mean, the weirdest thing is just Thanksgiving is in October. Remembrance Day was yesterday, in fact. And what is... There's Canada Day, and then there's just a Canadian flag. I don't know. Oh, I should actually Google it. Groundhog Day. Help if I spelled it right. What? What? Oh. Oh, man. I fell for that one hard. I got by Google. That's pretty funny. That was good. I was expecting like the logo to do something, like there was an animated thing or something to do with that, but that's funny. That is really good. But yeah, as far as like Canadian holidays go, we don't really have that much different other than a couple. Like we have Remembrance Day, but it's very similar to like, I don't know. Of course, I don't know. Like, for me, it seems similar like to something like Veterans Day, but I don't know if it's the same kind of feeling. Like, Remembrance Day in Canada is very somber. Like, it's a very serious kind of holiday. It's a stat, so it's a stat holiday, but it seems to me like it's very similar, very like much about focusing on the old, like veterans, focusing on the, old wars, especially like World War I, World War II, that kind of thing. We usually have Remembrance Day parades with the war veterans. This is my favorite though. We don't have a holiday in August, so they were just like, let's make one. And so it's literally just a civic holiday. There's nothing special about it. It's in August, there is a civic holiday. It's just you get a day off because it's a holiday. It's really dumb. Nothing special about it. It's literally just it's a holiday. We couldn't think of anything better. Not even like Victoria Day. Like Victoria Day is in honor of Queen Victoria. But it's like it's just the long weekend in May. Like there's nothing really special about it. People don't do anything for it other than usually go camping. But it's Victoria Day. But in August it's just civic holiday. Whatever. Very strange. I don't think Terry Fox Day is not a holiday, but it's a pretty big deal in Canada, generally. I guess most of these aren't. Not all of these are like full holidays, as much as they are just important dates. I don't know what this is. That's Hanukkah. Is that... I don't know. I do not recognize what that holiday is. Birthdays? Maybe? It seems like it's got candles. Is it Kwanzaa? I don't know anything about Kwanzaa. Hang on. Yeah, that's Kwanzaa. I don't know what the Kwanzaa candles represent. Let's find out. Huh. I didn't even know Kwanzaa had candles. Fascinating. Makes sense. I only found out recently that Kwanzaa is like, it was created in America in like the 50s. Like it is a very recent thing. And I had no idea. It has roots in, like African culture and descent, but it was created very, very recently in comparison to, Christmas and Hanukkah and all that kind of stuff, which I did not know. In fact, I want to know. Yeah, it was created by an American in 1966. Go figure. I never would have guessed. I thought it was way older than that, but nope. It's pretty interesting. Hold up. He believed Jesus was psychotic. Huh. I don't know very much about Kwanzaa. For me, I only learned about Kwanzaa through The Simpsons, because the one scene where Krusty is wishing everyone like a Merry Christmas, a crazy Kwanzaa, and Happy Hanukkah, and there was one more that he's just like a very somber something. Can't remember what it was, but that's where I know Kwanzaa from, and I just assumed, oh, it must be, another culture's kind of Christmas time celebration, which is true, but I assumed it was a lot older than that. Favorite McNugget sauces. This is the only one that matters. Alright, I better stop this because I could do this forever. I could waste a lot of time on tier maker. My god. See, Canada really love RuPaul's Drag Race. I think it's just the people who make tier lists really like it. Like, I've watched a few seasons, and it was... Admittedly, I kind of got into it, but I'm not that into it. It's reality shows. It's wild. I'm going to have to do a Morrowind tier list at some point. Although not race rankings. I am not going to rank which races are better than others in Morrowind. Because that's... that ain't happening. That's a bad tier list. Don't do that. It'll happen sooner or later. Morrowind waifu tier list? Ooh, maybe. That might have to happen. I'll get there, eventually. Most of these are just like weapons. I don't want to rate weapons. Morrowind settlements. That'd be a good one. Okay. I have to put it down. Like I said, I could waste a lot of time on tier maker. And I probably will at another point. The great houses isn't much of a list. Well, there's... Actually, I think there's... No, there's more than 3. There's 5. At the time of Morrowind, there's 5 great houses. And I think there may have been more than that originally. I want to say there was like 7 at one point. I can't remember. But for sure, at the time of Morrowind, there was 5 great houses. You could only join 3 of them. Only 3 of them had quest lines, but there was 5 in total. Yeah, that is entirely correct. House Hlalu, House Telvanni, House Redoran are the 3 that you can work for. Then there was House Dress, which is... House Dress, I think, was the ones in Mournhold. The guys in the red armor. And then there was House Indoril, which was the Ordinators. And then there's... Right, and then there was the 6th house, which was House Dagon. Of course. It all makes sense when you think about it. Yeah, the Ordinators are a house. Well, it's more than that. It's like very closely linked to the temple, but it's the Ordinator's armor is based on... Well, it's... The armor of the Ordinators is meant to look like the original Indoril Nerevar. But yeah, that's a whole different that's a whole different stream. I should play Morrowind. I want to. Yeah, if I talk about Morrowind, it'll go forever. But yeah, this was about as much as I wanted to get out of this. I mostly just wanted to hang out, do something chill. I just wanted to do tier ranking because I think it's fun. It's more fun than it has any right to be. Just throw these hot takes out into the void, into the ether, and see what happens. I don't know when. I do want to get back to my Pokemon playthrough at some point. I'll probably... My work schedule is very unreliable, but I do want to stream more often, so I will try to do that. I think I'm probably going to try and wrangle Wordsy up and get back to Lego on Monday, as long as nothing catastrophic happens. But I'll see about getting a schedule posted this weekend too. So, but hey, I want to stream more, so hopefully I'll see people later. In the meantime, have a good evening. Thank you for joining me. I don't even know if anybody else is live. Let's see. See. Oh. Looks like I always seem to raid John and Jazz, but they're usually streaming a bit later. But you know what? I'm gonna send us over to Starcrossed because they are playing Phasmophobia, which is a game that I would really like to play again. Because I've only played it a little bit, and dang, is that fun. So we'll head on over there. Wish them a happy ghost hunt. And oh, it looks like just John is playing, but yeah, we'll go say hi. Once again, thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Have a good evening, have a good weekend, and I will see you later.